I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Matrix of sorts, your new home prison, I guess you'd call it. Yeah. You're stuck in your house. You can't leave. You're kind of isolated. You're feeling down. You're feeling kind of out of sorts. One of the ways I deal with that problem is I put my headset on and listen to some music when I wake up. That's one way to kind of loosen things up. Work on an indoor garden. Sarah and I are working on, planting things, getting starters going, and then we go outside, and I wear a mask when I go outside, just to be on the safe side, because we don't really know what's going on. But there's so much fear, 90% fear and 10% fear of a bioweapon. It's really, this is the part we have to really get a handle on. When Donald Trump shut the economy down, he stopped everything. Yet he still allows planes to come into the country and travel from state to state. Does he not realize that this is a tragedy, what's happening? We're actually winding our economy down to a halt, which is the worst thing you can do with an economy the size of ours. There's no proof that this works. Now, I don't mean spraying your hands with disinfectant. That does help. But there's no proof that stopping our economy helps. The Swedish model looks really good to me. They're letting everything go. Kids are in school. Stores are open. Deliveries are going through. Restaurants are still going. But there's standards that are being met. Cleanliness standards. We're going to the absolute ridiculous. And there's a reason why we're doing that. One woman. Turns out Dr. Fauci actually wrote a piece recently that said that it's no worse than a severe flu. He wrote in the New England Journal of Medicine 5 days ago, Dr. Fauci, the little guy that's not in the picture there, he wrote that it's no worse than a severe flu, and we have a copy of that. You like the Swedish models too? I know. I like Swedish singers. Ella Font and all these other singers that are, I think she's Swedish. She could be Norwegian. Yeah. But the bottom line is we're looking at a woman who is not only the most inept person in history. She made the decision to shut our country down. Trump just stood there like an idiot and just like did whatever she said. I don't know, maybe there's something going on between the two of them. Have you seen Melania lately? I don't know. Beginning to wonder. He spends a lot of time with her. But no, Dr. Fauci is absolutely the worst, the best choice to go with, but we're not going with his advice. We're going with her, Birx. Now, Dr. Fauci wrote an article, which I played earlier in the show, and I'll read it to you once I have it in front of me. Okay, it's not popping up right now. I'll get it later. But like I said, he said it was no worse than a severe flu. 0.1% death rate. But she, being her history with Walter Reed Medical Center, I went and looked into the background, and I have a link in our show tonight on YouTube that will give you all you need to know about what happened with this woman in charge of Walter Reed. We'll play that for us tonight. Walter Reed was a disaster when she left Walter Reed and went on to focus on AIDS. She left that entire hospital in such shambles, they don't even want to call it Walter Reed anymore. It's changed its name, but that in and of itself is the big question. How could this possibly have gone on, this type of physical neglect of patients? There are testimonials here from people that were there that they said that the quality of the hospital was such disrepair that it was beyond belief. That's what this woman ran.
Mold on the walls.
Soldiers face a bureaucratic nightmare and a shortage of trained staff.
The Walter Reed scandal shocked America. And
this is exactly the woman we put in charge of the most important thing for us to deal with. Donald Trump's got some pretty bad judgment going on. He needs to listen to Dr. Fauci's opinion, because this is no worse than a severe flu, and we should never have shut our country down. Now, I showed you earlier how planes were coming into the country. Maybe they are cargo planes in many cases, but do we really know if people aren't in those cargo containers? I mean, come on. We need to have videotape and surveillance of all of our ports of entry right now. We could have contaminated things coming into our dollar stores. We don't know that. So Donald Trump decides to shut the economy down, and we're sitting around going, what do we do now? So you spoke to a nurse in your community, and he said his hospital is prepared, and you had one case. They're all waiting for this huge influx, and there's nothing coming, because the whole thing was hype, essentially to get us all indoors in our house. And you're going, why would they do that? Well, where shall I start? There's something happening right now. There's something happening here. Something happening here. What it is, I can't really tell you. I can tell you that if you're in your house, you're safer than outside of your house. But I don't really know how safe, because we really don't even recognize this as one particular type of virus. They created a non-vaccinable virus, one that will never ever be able to be vaccinated with. It genetically alters the RNA as it flies through our bodies. And by the way, do take some of these immunity building hints seriously. That's why I kept them on the screen for you. But yeah, there's an ongoing reality that there will be no vaccine for this. I don't know about placenta, but I have fruit enzyme with my Fountain of Youth water. Thank you. Sarah is not related to me, Jason. She's my partner in this effort. Oh, I said all along, it's 90% fear, 10% bioweapon. Did you not get the memo? Do you not know what a bioweapon is? Okay, let me explain to you what a bioweapon is. Okay, it's something that's artificially created, man-made, and we know that this has all the markers of a man-made bioweapon. Unfortunately, our president and Ms. Birx won't admit that. Fauci won't even admit it either. But he did say it was no worse than a severe flu. So why did we shut our economy down? Now, stock market may have had a little uptick today, up 469 points, but the reason it had an uptick, and you're not going to like this, Donald Trump is essentially saying that he's cut a deal with Russia. Yeah, he announced that he has a solution in place, and he has a relationship with Russia that is going to make this thing all work for everybody. Now, this is what he tweeted today, and this is why the stock market went up. I just spoke to my friend MBS, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, who spoke with Putin and Russia, and I expect and hope that they will be cutting back approximately 10 million barrels and maybe substantially more, which, if it happens, will be great for the oil and gas industry. Now that alone tricked the stock market into going up on hopes that this guy maybe is getting a deal. Guess what? Trump has basically doubled down on hopes, and it's backfiring. Russia is pulling, they're not going to do it, no. In fact, they even denied having a conversation with him. Trump doubles down on hopes that Russia and Saudi Arabia will agree on oil production cut after Kremlin denies talks. So let's get this right, folks. Donald Trump is making up stories. This is from Russia Today. Donald Trump is making up stories to get our country to rebound economically. He's willing to lie about the oil industry and tweak our belief system in order to get the stock market to rally. That's what we're dealing with here. Told you. Yeah, you were right. There's no evidence that Russia and Saudi Arabia are doing anything. So this guy has the audacity to lie about everything, of course. Pitoro, I'm so sorry, but my fish cannot come inside the house with me. They stay in the pond. And I fed them today early, 3 hours ago. They were very, very happy. The Saudis are thinking about it. Well, either way, Donald Trump didn't have any assurance, and he ran his tweet mouth off, and then lo and behold, the stock market rebounds. That means tomorrow it could be like, what are we doing here? Later, down, down, down. The Dow goes down, down, down. Do you understand how scattered the sounds? No hospitals are full, and it's a fake bioweapon, or all traveling inside it must be shut down. It doesn't sound scattered at all. I told you, all cargo should be checked for any type of a disease. Are you retarded? Maybe you're like Donald Trump. I'm a very stable genius. It is dangerous outside. I don't know how much of a bioweapon's outside. I go out there with a mask on. I do, but my poor fishies, they're okay. They're surrounded by a cushy cover of algae. And these fish are really indestructible. They're doing great. The only big predator the fish have is this big blue heron that I haven't seen lately. And my birdies, they're disappearing. I don't see as many birds as I saw 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. We may have a whole bag of bird food that may last till the apocalypse, or maybe we're in the apocalypse. Yes, I use N95 masks, and I also use Blue Abso masks. I prefer a Blue Abso under the N95. That's really the best choice you can get. Blue Abso is kind of a cottony blend, and the N95 is manufactured. The Blue Absos are the ones they say may have been touched by people. I don't know. I like the Blue Abso, but they go around your ear, and then the other ones go around your head. I'd rather have the ones around my head, frankly. The N95s are a little bit better, because it gets a little hard on the back of your ear. Yesterday I was like, gosh, this is starting to hurt me. All right. So Trump is lying. We know that. We know that planes are coming in, and we could spend our day looking at all of the different transport planes. Apparently, you looked this up, and then you said this was a cargo plane after all? Okay. Decided to make a beehive up to Anchorage. All right, that's within the scope of its flight trajectory. Let's take a look at this one. Hong Kong to LAX. Nah, this looks like a 777. Oh, it's DHL. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, we're getting better at reading these things. Let's go over here and see how many are taking off, heading our way. Hong Kong to Anchorage, Southern, Boeing 777. That looks like a passenger plane. Yeah, it does. You want to look it up? Your ears are basically handles, yeah. Okay. We'll get back to that later. This apparently really freaked a lot of people out. Apparently Taiwan was banned by the World Health Organization that, of course, declared this as a pandemic. They won't even talk about Taiwan. They hung up on her. You saw that picture the other day. But listen to this. This is really interesting. Taiwan apparently on December 31st contacted the World Health Organization about human-to-human transmission of Wuhan coronavirus. But not only did the World Health Organization suppress this information, it also denied human-to-human transmission 2 weeks later. So for 2 weeks, Taiwan was ahead of this, and the World Health Organization refused to even acknowledge them as a country. So we're dealing with the worst World Health Organization on earth, and they declared this a pandemic because they really don't want to pay out the pandemic bonds, which they took out in 2017. We're dealing with corruption again, no different than Kofi Annan at the UN many years ago, and all the others that have taken from position and used it for bribery purposes. I don't trust the World Health Organization at all. And neither does this man, a highly respected Japanese elder statesman named Taro Aso, who serves as Japan's deputy prime minister, blasted the World Health Organization for its soft stance toward communist China amid the outbreak of the coronavirus, saying that the organization should be renamed as the China Health Organization. Anyway, please don't imagine how bad it is. It hasn't gotten as bad as it's going to get until later when Donald Trump continues to make the wrong decisions. Okay, so right now we're okay. What are they doing? Why are they keeping us in our houses? Well, we talked about that. It's a plan that's been in place for some time. Yeah. It's coming out of the deep state. Yes, it is. I don't have a problem with my system runs at top speed. It's generated by media buzz. Yeah, they've got all kinds of things running at us at all times. Their big plan is a depopulation plan. Bingo, you got it. Why would they create a bioweapon? They want to get rid of old people. It turns out that old people are the most vulnerable here. So yeah. The 90% fear factor is spitting it out as the big, huge event, like Event 201. Event 201 was created by the Gates Foundation and Purebright and John Hopkins, and they created this in October. We don't know if this isn't the exercise that Pompeo said he was doing. He said he was in a live exercise. Could very well be. So each family gets 2 paper face masks? Really? All I can say is Japan better get busy getting their mask production up. That's essential right now. Do any of you have COVID-19? And just press 1 if you do. Have you been diagnosed with the Q-tip they stick all the way to the back of your head? How do we know those Q-tips are safe? Oh, I found the article. Okay, great. No, nobody has it. Yeah, it's just an imaginary disease people are getting in nursing homes when they're dying already. I know. Trump said he tested 1 million people. What, he stuck 1 million Q-tips in somebody's mouth or nose? Or where? They stick them all the way in your nose. They go right into the back of your head. Okay. Shinzo Abe has quickly become an online meme following his announcement Wednesday evening that the government will distribute 2 cloth masks to every household in the nation. Well, it's better than nothing. Hello? That's decent of him. You can wash the cloth mask. He's trying his own way. Look what Dr. Fauci wrote. I said this yesterday around the same time, so you can go back to yesterday's video. But he wrote on the 3rd paragraph here, this suggests that the overall clinical consequences of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of a severe seasonal influenza, which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%. I mean, that's pretty serious. It's a severe flu. So why didn't they listen to Dr. Fauci? Instead, we listened to Dr. Birx, the woman who literally took Walter Reed into the toilet and gave them no support, was worthless in terms of a doctor presiding over her department, and left all of us in shambles wondering why the VA was treating people this way. Hard to say. We'll find out later.
I did it a little longer than 40 minutes, and then I turned it off and then let it sit in its heat.
Oh, perfect. That'll be great.
It's looking good.
Now, we have a job plan at America's Third Party. the Democrats, Republicans just decided to make us all unemployed. Now, differing views right now. We're getting through the 6 weeks of this lowering the curve period. I'm sure many of you want to go through this with,
Some are extending it out.
Well, some people are extending it out. I'm of the belief that we need to use the Swedish model and come up with a better way to do this, and that's to get things back on track right now, getting people back to work.
Anita claims her brother has COVID-19.
Really? Has he been diagnosed, Anita?
She just said he's home with COVID-19.
Wow.
And she said it's very real.
Okay. Well, we take your statement seriously. I don't want to undervalue your statement. So I'm going to leave you with Sarah. She's going to talk.
Never mind. She said he's avoiding it. He doesn't.
Oh, he's avoiding it. Yeah. So we don't have anybody in here who said that they know somebody or anyone that has it. So we're of the belief that now at this point, what I believe is, Sarah doesn't believe this, but I believe they're taking the numbers of people that are dying in nursing homes like they did in Washington and just totaling them up and saying, oh yeah, these people are dying anyway. So, oh yeah, they died of COVID. Sarah and I are not, no, I don't have it. Let me say this. Let me say this, that the health agency that operates the Kirkland
Life Care
Center, the health agency, and I haven't confirmed this, but someone told me that the group that handles that operation on the board of directors it's called LLC Health Systems. They run the Kirkland Life Care Center.
Why don't we research it right now? I'll research it.
Well, yeah, they're saying that Jared Kushner is on the board of that place.
Let's verify that. Or I can verify it.
Health Systems LLC. All right. Okay, Sarah's going to look that up right now. In the meantime, we've got a plan to get people homes and jobs, and the Democrats and Republicans have a plan to shut the economy down. So that's why I suggest you vote for a third party at this point and, think about our goals and how we can make a better place for all of us. Stopping the country may be your plan right now to lower the curve, but it's not a sustainable plan. And like I said, I truly believe in the long run, we would be better to follow the Swedish model all the way forward. Okay, I'm going to step out right now and let's put my header up here on the screen. I got to get rid of a few things. Okay, I had acquired a couple of things I have to get rid of. Lighten it up for you. And I'll bring you all kinds of good stuff. There we go. Okay. You are watching America's Third Party, and Sarah is going to take over. Thank you. I guess I can pull those out.
The same. Go ahead.
I guess I can pull those out if I want. Let them air dry.
You can, or you can just let them sit in their heat right now. They're not overcooked. You can check them.
What I want to do is I'm going to run a line down the side to kind of break them up so that they fall right out. We made the perfect banana bread. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me spray the keyboard for you in case you're worried about any. Yeah, I'll take that too. Here, let me get your hand. There we go. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, you were saying ACDC. I forgot Bangalitis. He didn't click on your awesome link yet.
Sorry.
So I have to go up and find it, unless you can. Oh, here it is. Download our video studio for free. Wow. Offer ends April 15th. I've definitely got to do that. Okay, I'll leave that up for David. It's not under 40 degrees in the house, but I really enjoy wearing a coat. Yeah, I have heard how a tiny paper medicine, well, the cup costs $40. I've heard of the medicine costing $200 or something like that, but iVlog, I'm not sure if I can do the same thing on iVlog for unbanning, but I can try. The username cannot be found, let's see, because I didn't do it right. Great, it's now unbanned. Sarah, how is that right? It's not right. I don't know, Cranky Beans. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. David's, of course, watching the chat from the other room, so... A rogue mod on Bond. He unbanned all... and banned Hippo Scooby. Okay. Alright, I was gonna get out of this thing that David went into, and then I was going to look up Life Care Center Kirkland, Washington, and then Jared Kushner. Alright. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that information. You're sick and tired of all the freebies being given out during the COVID-19 calamity? As a capitalist, you want people to take your money. Take my money. Wow, I don't know if I like that, Rain Pipe. And Les, I can see your chat, Les, and I can see Rain Pipe now that he's gotten that big flashing frog over at G Live. Well, that's so trippy. I might end up hiding it. Too trippy, dude. All right. I'm gonna put a little star here just because it's so trippy. All right. Oh, that's sad. Super Dave. Sarah Rainpipe says the relief bill has $75 million set aside for PBS and NPR. He finds that to be a total waste. Cranky Beans thinks everybody should put on a mask, wash their hands, and go back to work. I remember one time when I was wearing a mask and washing my hands, and they're like, only people that are sick should be wearing a mask. And I was like, well, what about, have you heard of prevention? I'm sorry, I am a little distracted. I got really distracted by Rainpipe's little thing. Exactly, you can't know if you are sick. Are you going to be donating any of those? See if your local hospital needs those? Rainpipe says the Kennedy Center gets $25 million that's set aside for their pensions and other funds. Employees are not receiving the money. He thinks it's a total scam. Bangalitis has a whole lot of paper masks, a cloth mask, and an N95 mask. Oh, true misanthropy. Oh, I believe it. As of 2015, Scissor Fight put life care centers have been the subject of a 7-year probe and federal lawsuit alleging Medicare fraud. Used to do a lot of prepping in 2014, 2015, 2016, but then in 2016, 17, you got bored and stopped prepping. And now you're eating all those 2014 foods. Oh, you can try to trade your masks. You want a 2020 Chevy truck? You might get a Chevy truck, but I wouldn't think it would be a 2020, maybe a 2000. Anita often chats gloomy stuff. We let her be here because she has nowhere else to talk. Zod's like, hey, we only charge Medicare $500 per Band-Aid. I do miss my students a lot. Yes. I called some of them today. Well, we're getting ready to do distance learning in a couple weeks, so I'll go back to my normal tired self. I'm gonna have to set a timer like every hour, tell him, get up, walk around, do 10 jumping jacks. But, yeah. Oh, thank you. Life Care Justice Department in 2016, Life Care Centers of America agreed to pay $145 million to resolve False Claims Act allegations related to the provision of medically unnecessary rehab therapy services. Its owner is Forrest L. Preston. Yeah, true. It was like they said, hey, there's a meteor coming. Wait, let's wait. Nobody freak out. Let's wait. Ah, there's a meteor coming. I know, Medveral. I got the metaphor. I knew it was a metaphor. I don't know about anybody else. You've got more beans than you could ever eat. You could grow them, but don't grow kidney beans. You think David seems socially liberal and progressive? Maybe. Grub Screw. J. Watson Telescope launch due will go ahead. $9 billion. Wow. Wow. I'm gonna let it go. I don't know what you wrote, 791, but I know it used to be the Obama phones, but now it's that check. I know there's still hope for me, but yeah, that's about it. You and I seem to get each other, Dr. Meow. I don't think it's worth it, diarrhea, now. Obama phones? No, it's Trump tweets. I know. Oh, goodness. Trump and his tweets. Goodness. What's the most exotic animal I've ever eaten? Alligator. An ostrich. He's really against it, Rainpipe. Really against it. Yeah, I haven't done that, Vinny. I've heard tuna cheeks are good, but I've never had that. I've had tuna, but no, petulant child, never. I know, maybe David is your guy. Okay, James Webb. Webb, really? Not James Watt? James Watt was amazing. Amazing. Seriously. Like, we wouldn't have any steam coming out of the factories if James Watt was still around. Huh. You found a giant black snake sunning in your yard. You think you should have cooked it up. Yeah, maybe cooked it up. I wouldn't have eaten it, but maybe cooked it. I think David would say, okay, I'll take it on. I'll save the world. Oh. Do you feel Jay Webb was director of Apollo moon landing? Oh, thanks, Grub Screw. Rainpipe says Maryland is a one-party state, the Democrat Party. His vote will be a protest vote, and he'll vote for David. I just put that last part about he'll vote for David in there, but... Underneath your clothes, there's an endless story. There's the man I know. Something like that. You save the world every time you put your beers in the recycle bin. Nice. Ah, thank you, Rainpipe. Doing your part. Doing your part. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll try not to yawn. Am I worried my students' dads will be watching my educational videos more than the students themselves? No. The parents are welcome to watch the casts, the videos, or whatever we do for distance learning, and I'm encouraged to help their children with the distance learning. And the more people that learn, then, you know, the more people that watch, the more people that will learn things. I'm sorry, you're not boring. I just woke up really kind of early. or than I did recently. But normal time for my normal work day. Great. Root access, that's scary. And I am using a Mac when I go on Zoom meetings. Zoom has made it so like people they released something so now they have a waiting room, and the person that is hosting the call has to approve the waiting room. I wouldn't doubt that either. I really do think Zoom has some major issues. I was reading something on Wired. Well, I didn't read it. I just read the title. But Wired magazine said, no, I did read quite a bit of it. Maybe even the whole thing. Anyway, Wired magazine had an article about Zoom rolling out. They're rolling out, like, their whole focus has been on like rolling out features rather than focusing on security and privacy. And it's kind of catching up to them. Wow. As of April 1st, Swedish authorities began deploying remote-controlled state Trojan spywares on their phone. And David was talking about how Sweden is so great. Swedish police are cleared to deploy spyware against crime suspects. Oh yeah, that's what Misanthropy just posted. Spyware should be able to turn on device cameras and microphones and get encrypted chat logs. Oh yeah, they're doing awesome. They're the ones we should be looking at. And Scissor Fight says, "Hi, Misanthropy from my vlog." I thought David disliked Howie tremendously, Bengalitis. Oh, thanks, Eric. I'm sure Howie is lurking. Oh. Rainpipe, thank you for the follow. I should consider getting a social media account on Gab. Okay. One more thing to keep track of. Gab, huh? So Bengalitis, what do you like about the AC/DC video thing? You like it? It's uncensored? Oh, David won't like that. It's like talking directly to the dark web. Ooh, weird. I would love that. Thanks, Eric. How he used to give Bengalitis good hacking tips in Instant Messenger. Yep, I had read that too. It's a free speech alternative to Twitter. Oh, interesting. Thanks, Grub Screw, for your perspective on Sweden. I do like Twitter, so maybe I would like Gab. And Bengalitis is only in that. Well, was it you? No, maybe it wasn't you. Somebody posted, "Hey Sarah, download this software, video software." Earlier when David was in the room. Hello, Kenny. It's called ACDC Video Studio 3. It's normally $60, but right now it's free. Video editing and screen recording with ease. Simple, easy to master interface, powerful 64-bit performance. It provides, oh, I'll show it to you. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, have you used that video editing one before? Have you used it? See, I knew it was you, Bengalitis. David will actually be older than that this year, Pickled Beans. And he looks so young because he sprays fruit enzyme spray on his face. Okay, you haven't used it, but it's free. Oh, that was David muting people. Free $1,200 for everyone. Just do your taxes online for free online and get a debit card in the mail where your $1,200 will come on. Yeah, everybody has to file their taxes so they can track you. It'll help them with the census. Guest. Oh, Sweden. Where are the Viking gods? Well, David Sponheim's in the kitchen. You're unemployed over 5 years, so you don't know. You got a great job in 2016 when companies weren't frightened to hire again. Oh, okay, thanks. Scissor Fight and Skeet. Ah, April 15th, is that like her birthday, or is that the date of her death or something? Soul Pie. Am I saying it right? I always say pie, but it might be pays. What's the name of the fan that's sitting in front of me? The fan? I don't know what you're talking about, Kenny. Oh, that's when she died, April 15th, okay. Yeah, it is an uphill battle to get anyone to donate. Gotta work on that this weekend. Or something. I was gonna do it yesterday, but... oh, you see my hair blowing? It's actually because it's a green screen, so it looks like it's blowing, but it's actually like, oh, you have a little loose hair. I'm gonna just fade with the green screen. I don't metal detect. How's your metal detecting going, Mad Dog? I think there might not be a lot of metal up here to detect. I mean, we didn't have the cool metal that they had during the Civil War era. I Love Fries is posing a trick question on you. You're like, do I want to scratch you? I don't know. Is that a trick question? I don't know the answer to that, Bangalitis. I like that answer, Odin the cat. I'm glad you practice social distancing by going to the woods to metal detect alone. True, Grub Screw. Some people print money out of the thin air and the masses work for the money. You wonder how, well, as long as it was green screen green, it would be weird to wear a green screen mask during the cast. That would be very weird. Oh. I remember the beaches. You're right, Misanthropy. That's so sad. I remember I used to go to this really cool little river up in the mountains when I was a kid with my family. And we went there like maybe 4 or 5 times. But like every time we went, the first time it was like this cute little river, little state park, so cute and just adorable and clean. And then the next time we went, there's some people like sitting in their car doing, just hanging out, maybe drinking, I don't know. And like by the time we, like our last visit before we're like we can never go there again, it was just like littered with people and trash and needles and oh, it was horrible. Used condom wrappers and bring back the greenback, yeah. Now the beach is like that, like Pacific Ocean. Not up here, but, well, we live in... The Puget Sound is pretty clean. Oh. I don't know if you have said it before, Cranky Beans, but yeah. Well, just all of you, Bangalitis. I'm going to actually put on more clothing so then I can like cover up to my, maybe go get a turtleneck on. And then after that, I'll put on like a, you know, like a, something to cover my head and then maybe some gloves. Your hope this fire will go away so everyone can enjoy living. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. David heard me yawning.
I made a nice little medley for you with a little bit of Havarta cheese on top of that couscous. That should be really tasty.
Oh, okay.
I really
nice.
enjoyed the mix that I made. I can't get over it. I throw stuff together and it's like better than ever for $1. Yeah, we're green ski mask. Yeah, that would be funny.
114. Okay.
People
Sarah
would
get
laugh.
more sleep? Probably.
Organic Havarta. Yeah, you could get some more sleep, Sarah.
Maybe.
Get a couple more hours and then wake up and watch shows.
This was pretty interesting. You might want to look at this.
Great, I will. Did you check that?
And Bengalitis recommended it.
I'm going to definitely download that. Are you kidding me? A free video editor? I'll love it. That's awesome. Hey, could you click that link that I just sent in?
Okay.
There it is. Thank you. It's
Oh, there it
it's
is.
a thing I want to show everybody. It's a beast, a 5G beast in New York.
And Rainpipe thinks we should get a Gab account. He says it's like Twitter, but with free speech or something.
Okay, great. I like it. Yeah, we'll get it. Thank you. Let's look at. Okay, let's take a quick look. Thank you, Sarah. Enjoy dinner. I put the bread on the glass, but I haven't taken them out yet. You can do whatever you want to do. I put plastic bags out for him, though. Okay, this is the 5G mast that they stuck in the middle of New York without any safety checks for human safety at all. And the government is doing this through secret means and covert means, like John F. Kennedy warned us about.
It lights up really nice.
Jose Lugo says these tall metal towers quickly popped up after Brooklyn Battery Tunnel toll booths came down.
We don't really know what's the purpose of this.
It's a $100 million MTA project full of secrecy, with 18 of these for the tunnels and bridges. So what are they exactly?
Are you saying you can't comment to me?
That's the MTA's man in charge of bridges and tunnels, Cedric Fulton, dodging our questions.
Not even later, can we talk to you about it, or can I make an appointment?
Some MTA board members, including New York City Transportation Commissioner Polly Trottenberg, say they know too little about the towers, even with about half the money spent and some of the towers up.
A lot of the board members felt like they didn't have all the details they would have wanted, myself included.
Residents who say they suspect there is much more going on with these towers than meets the eye wonder, will they ever know what's going on inside them?
I'm going to guess it's probably not just a decoration.
It's a bit.
Yeah, you're right. Dave, please put this in Google ASMR. What's that? Me rubbing my whiskers or something? People do that. They like rub their whiskers on camera in front of a mic. Is that what you mean? Another free game, really? Oh, cool. Lots of free games, lots of good stuff for you to occupy your time. Lots of diversions to keep our mind occupied so that we no longer think about what's happening. Yeah. Do you think that's intentional for us to have all these diversions? Let's start with gaming. News. Now we're here at news. Weather, sports, porn. Some of you are into that. Some of you are watching porn right now while you're watching our show. Looks like you were right. Dave Kushner takes charge of coronavirus response. Trump's son-in-law sets up a shop at FEMA as a portfolio of balloons to include manufacturing supplies and long-term planning. That's right, Mark. The Kushners are trying to make a big buck on this. That's why they were so happy sitting in that car. Yeah, remember that Kushner car? Yeah, we had a picture of both of them, Donald and Jared. They're both two peas in a pod, really. Both slumlords, could care less about anybody but themselves. Yeah, the Kushner family could be getting very rich right now. And that's why they're smiling all the way to the bank. Look at that. See that look of glee in Donald Trump's face? The look of greed is in his eyes tonight. The look of extreme greed. The joy of making money on people dying. It brings them joy. Look at the greed. And look at the red eye. Yeah. That's pretty evil stuff they're up to. You know, making money on dying sick people. Wow, I wonder how God will feel. Is it frozen? Wow, we were just DDoSed just now. They didn't want to talk about Jared. Oh, whenever I put Jared on there and talk about how much money they're making, we're shut down. Look at that. The Kushner family ties to for-profit healthcare companies. His brother Joshua Kushner is in charge of Oscar Health, which will be handling the COVID test locator. Yeah, you didn't know there were no COVID tests, did you? They said, oh, you've got 1 million. We got 4 million tests. Is that right? 4 million tests. Hang on, I got to get my press coverage. I'm getting better ratings right now than The Bachelor. Boy, we should have more pandemics more often. This is the best thing that ever happened in my ratings. Ugh. Lockdown from being in each other's, yeah. Speak for yourself. UK police are now finding people for driving their cars during the lockdown. Here comes Big Brother.
That the public understand that they follow the measures, they follow the guidance. The police are out and about already. The point now is that as of today, the police have enforcement powers, and those powers involve the ability to level a fine, and that fine will increase if people do not comply and do not pay that fine on time. And that will be based under the fixed penalty notice and the regulations that are now coming into place today.
What we want to be able to do is illustrate to the public that we're doing our very utmost as all emergency services to try and protect the NHS and to try and save lives. We hope that we will not have to enforce the powers. What we hope is that the public listen to those restrictions and they stay at home.
So nobody's wearing a mask to pull people over for violating social distance laws. Isn't that funny? The cop pulls you over, he's not even wearing a mask. He says, ma'am, you're in violation of social distancing. You shouldn't be driving right now. And here's footage from April 1st, 2020, where nobody's practicing social distancing. Look at this. Nobody.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Apparently I didn't get the memo. Don't do as I do as I say. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so are we going to have a wall or not? I mean, you got a link there? Okay. I saw that. Yeah, Eric was very, very bad. I saw that. Yep. We spotted Eric making the move. Yeah, trying to kind of be really nice, yeah. You know, the old days when I supported a fence back in 2009 and Donald Trump grabbed the idea in 2014. In 2008, I was supporting a fence too. And he hasn't even built the full fence. And you know, there's no talk about the fence anymore. He said, oh, I built 133 feet or miles very recently. And it's so ridiculous you can slip kilos through the slats. It's ridiculous. But we don't have a fence. We just don't have a fence. It's terrible. And I think we could do better. So that's why we came up with a $1 billion container fence where you can actually have a place to live down here. Say you're an illegal alien, you come to the border, long trip, many hours of walking for miles, and you want a nice place to stay. Well, mi casa es tu casa. Sí, muy bueno, mucho le gusta Casa David. You'll be able to stay in bunk beds. 40 bunk beds per container, and the doors will be open. There won't be any doors on the outside, so you'll be trapped inside. All open doors. It'll have like like blankets over it. So we won't be able to lock any doors on any of these things. So, except for the shops and carnicerias and laundromats. And some of the places you can get, necessary gloves and masks. So You notice how nobody's talking about the border except me now? Everybody's COVID this, COVID that. You know, Trump made the biggest mistake of all. Virtually stopping our economy. You know that, right? It doesn't take a genius to realize that. But I'm here anyway. Thank you for being here with me, sharing in my intelligence. When this is over, America should open all of its old factories and get off the Made in China wagon, don't you think? We'll start by making some of these. Pence can't even make these things. It's almost like something he would wear for dress up when he spends time with the children. But no, this is a face mask that could very well do exactly what you think it can do. It's one layer of defense. No offense. Would you want to change and have Trudeau, Dave? Yeah, I would, actually. No offense, but I think Trudeau's a better president of his country or prime minister of his country than our president of our country. Yes. Do you laminate your Trudeau posters? Yeah, really. Do you worship Trudeau? You've been making fun of America for years, asking what they make. We make toilet paper. America is one of the largest toilet paper producers in the world. You didn't know that? Well, these guys are not practicing social distancing. I can tell you that's messed up. Help me, help me. Okay, we're going to leave this background behind. Say goodbye to the Homestead Renewal Plan. We'll put that on hold until you guys can get out of your house. Right now, you're just locked up little scared rabbits waiting for the flu to arrive. Oh, no. Ooh, I'm so scared. Well, when you put all your faith in a man who's got a good deal going on with Vladimir Putin, and you trust him. Huh. Yeah, Vladimir Putin is very, very trustworthy. Not. This is the deal. Putin works for the New World Order. Therefore, Donald works for the New World Order. President Xi Jinping works for the New World Order. That's right. They all work for the New World Order. Isn't that special? That's what's happening. And your liberties are going to be going into the morgue very soon. Yes, and William Barr, who works for the New World Order, is going to put your liberties in the morgue, basically in a mausoleum. Thank you. Yeah, so where does that leave you? Oh, gee, you're not even in the picture. That's because you never stopped the deep state. You QAnoners are still believing, you're going to see the deep state. I mean, what did Alex Jones say? That he's going to reveal the name of Q next week if somebody else doesn't? You're not going to believe this, but I happen to know that the real name behind the name Q is none other than beep. That's probably John F. Kennedy Jr. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I'm sure Q is sure. No, I'm kidding. I don't think John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive. Come on. That's ridiculous. Okay. I am not Q. Yeah, that's right. You can count me out. I'm not Q. So you guys can be rest assured. But Q gets all their ideas from me. And they decide to put a label on it saying Donald Trump's going to stop the deep state when I'm the guy who's going to stop the deep state. I'm the only one who's been explaining everything to you very carefully. Now, Trump is trying to blame the ventilator shortage across the nation on the governors. Oh, I got all the governors. He even said he had a great conversation with every governor now. When we know the day before he had a terrible conversation with the Michigan governor and the Washington State governor, Jay Inslee. I don't like him. He's a very bad governor. And then today it was, I'm getting along with all the governors, great calls with all the governors. So in other words, Donald Trump is being groomed to say, you be nice to people, Donald, like a child. So he wants you to beg him for ventilators. So you governors, you beg him for ventilators because you're going to need them for your poor how many people do you have who are on ventilators right now in the nursing homes with people who claim that they're dying of coronavirus? 1 million people? Are we even looking at the pandemic numbers? I don't really want to look at the numbers. They're so fake, I can barely even, bring myself to look at them. Yeah, and the test kits. What were those all about? No COVID-19 test kits at all. He said there would be 1 million to 4 million of these things. No, you meant Q-tips. No COVID-19 test kits, only Q-tips. And they go into a toaster oven that takes 7 hours each time to verify that they even work. Dave, we have 36,000 viewers in the gas pumps nationwide. Oh, you have? I didn't know you could actually get my face onto the gas pumps. Well, you're amazing, man. Either that or you've got a really good lie going. No brown nosing, please. My Q-tips come from Dave. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and post that right now. I can't pass that up. No, Misan was right to say that. It's very clever. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's tell the QAnoners right now in my Twitter account. I'm going to go in there right now and just say, hey, this is what's going on, man. Yeah, no COVID-19 tests exist. Only Q-tips. Also, QAnon tips they take from me. No, that's not working for me. Okay, it was better when you wrote it in chat. I'm going to pass on that. And I don't want to communicate with QAnon at all. Thank you. See, that's the person who recognizes an error and just scrubs it. That's what Donald Trump needs to do. Donald, the ventilators aren't there. You have to start working with other companies to get the ventilators there. Okay? It's called A plus B equals C. Okay, let's move on to the next section. The Beast has been recorded. It's called the 5G Beast System. It'll be in tonight's show. Walter Reed Medical Center will be in tonight's show. The place where Miss Birx, who decided that we should all stay at our house for a month. It wasn't Fauci who came up with this idea. It was her, Birx. She came up with it. Now we'll find out tonight how bad off the conditions are at Walter Reed.
Okay, and we're going to fix them.
But 6 years later, what's happened to the promises made to wounded soldiers?
They're missing limbs. They're going through so much.
And they're not getting the necessary help. I would like to revisit Walter Reed, the Maryland Medical Center, or Bethesda Maryland Medical Center, known by... And I'd like to ask these people if they're doing okay now after all of these years. Because she worked and presided over the Walter Reed Medical Center and did a pretty bad job all those years. And Trump did lie to us about the stock market. We covered that. He said that he had a deal with Russia and Saudi Arabia. That deal has not gone through, and there's no evidence he even talked to Saudi Arabia. Now today we watched 50 minutes of empty hospitals across the country. Nobody's going in there. It's just completely evacuated. Yet the government's saying COVID's out of control and our hospitals are overtaken. We are in the midst of a psyops. We're being lied to.
Miami Valley South Hospital. You're in the emergency area and there's no one there.
No one there. So we're in the midst of a psyops, folks.
It says it's dead.
Yep.
Video number 4.
I don't have a pass to get into Walter Reed. I'm not a veteran. But at least I'm not a draft dodger like Donald Trump.
There's the hospital entrance area. No sign of activity at that hospital as well.
Now, this was going on all day long. This guy had at least 16 or 17 people send him videos when he asked to show videos of your local hospital, and they all came up empty as a church
Video number 5
on Sunday. Now, we're prosecuting pastors for having public gatherings. We've turned our economy off.
Ohio.
Look at this. Another one.
Huge hospital, nothing happening.
Nothing
Video
happening.
Number 6.
He just went through like at least 16 of these things, and we've got more proof from another lady who did a lot of work on her own. A YouTube star is coming out talking about the dangers of nobody's at these hospitals. We're being lied to. So how long does this lie continue, and how deep does it go? How deep is your love? Well, for some reason, we have the most ill-suited president right now that we ever could have. Is there anything we need less than someone who despises experts and expertise, possesses no discipline, lies day in and day out, and only knows how to disrupt, divide, and sow conflict and chaos? Stop the chaos. Vote for David Sponheim. For Your Money made me this. Thank you for your money. Well, I wish I could enjoy the peace and quiet since the majority are in their homes, paranoid, afraid to leave, but I can sense the insanity everywhere. I know. Tell me about it. You're one of those guys that kind of, likes your space. Misanthropy is a guy who kind of stays to himself. Many people are. But, that's not exactly, what people want. There are a lot of extroverts among us who really want to hang out and commingle. We would love to be able to stand this close to each other and say, hey, like imagine these guys doing a circle jerk. They're practically there. You just have to get a little closer, guys, and pretty soon you'll be rubbing elbows. Yeah. It'd be like John Lennon and Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr and George Harrison. Paul McCartney said that they all got together and did a circle jerk. Did you hear that? Yeah, so this guy, all these people literally are circle jerking while our country is going down the toilet. And you're okay with that. Yeah. It's a big, huge jerk-off session in Washington right now, and they're all trying to get that little piece of that $2.2 trillion prize. Meanwhile, we get nothing. Nothing. 250,000 people get nothing. 250 million people get nothing. David, Meta was going to play Grimes' new music last night, but I told him to wait until you came, and you never did. Meta, you never came back last night. I still have my survival kit ready to go. I'm hoping I'll be able to strap this onto my neck when I get taken to the FEMA camps for resisting my vaccination. Yeah, I'm thinking of working on a plan where I can somehow attach it to the mask. So I can, if I could just attach it to my ears and I could carry my little safety kit around with me as I walk into the FEMA camp. I just refused a vaccination. Could you zip tie me and take me away now? And okay. And I have all the things I need, like my dude wipes. Yeah, here they are. Authentic $1.79 at Walmart. 18 dude wipes, 10 cents a piece, roughly. Yep, and I got my no seum. People won't be able to see me with this thing on. It says no seum head net, so I wear the head net so people won't be able to see me. And then, of course, I've got my CBD oil lifetime supply, so I could just sit there and, self-medicate. Oh, man, the CBD oil is great for the Parkinson's. Because you will get Parkinson's eventually if you're in one of those FEMA camps. Oh, and this thing, too. This tells me where I am, and so I can whistle. I'm over here near the incinerator. Hello. Let me see. North, south, west. Which part of the FEMA camp should I go? Oh, this oil is like 200 milligrams CBD. My sister got it for me. Isn't that nice of her? Yeah. I can fit a lot more things in here. A little bit of my antiseptic spray. I think I can fit that in there. It's totally sealed. You can even put your cell phone in there. Yeah. So I hope that I'll be able to take this to the FEMA camp. That'll be the one thing that I'll ask the police officer. Could I please take this to the FEMA camp, please? It's my waterproof container. Please don't hurt me. Okay. Yeah, it's come to that. You elected an absolute asshole for president. Now you get the just rewards. You Trump-tards must really love your world now you're living in. Yeah, you got Donald Trump. Oh, go Donald. Boy, you must really be like losing it right now. I got to admit, picking Donald as the president of the United States had to be the biggest mistake the Republicans even began to make. When he walked all over everybody at the nomination of the 2016 nomination and used my ideas to beat everybody, you said, oh yeah, we want to go for Donald because he sounds like Dave a little bit. A little bit. But he's not honest like Dave. He's the money-grubbing pig, unlike Dave. You know. Let's see what we got. The governor of, or the mayor of Georgia, cancels social distancing order despite state having almost 5,000 corona cases. Well, how many flu cases does the state have? Whenever we look at how many corona cases there are, we have to know how many flu cases there are. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in for them, okay? Good old honest Dave. Yep. So today there's like 5,000 corona cases in Georgia, but there's 75,000 flu cases. Yeah, that's just a rough estimate. So let's put that in there for everybody to look at. We're just making up our own news. This is called kind of like the professionals do it. They make up their own news like this. Yeah, everybody can make their own news stories this way. You just, embellish on everything. That's what they do it. Journalists do it all the time. Just, oh yeah, okay. Oh gosh, 75,000 flu cases, and he has the audacity to not shut his state down. Can you imagine? And there's 5,000 COVID cases. That guy's really stepping out of the loop there. He needs to be, given a beating with a wet noodle. Super Dave, seriously, you never even took an IQ test, let alone a Corona-19 test. Yeah, so we're all freaking out about 5,000 corona. I really like this mayor. I tweeted him back saying, hey, good job, buddy. I don't think we need to freak out right now, and I think he's right. It's no problemo. It's okay. You are so upset, man. All the people are so crazy, man. You Americans are so crazy. Drunk Nancy has a record of abusing the perks of the office, which you gave her access to military luxury travel paid by taxpayers. I know. I remember hearing about that. I read a story about that. Wall Street's predicting that unemployment will hit 16 million? Oh, 16%. That's cool. It's already at 45%. If we make it down to 16%, that'd be great. Yeah, here you go. Men will be allowed to leave their homes only on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, while women are authorized to step outdoors on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. No one's allowed out on Sundays. Where are you getting this stuff? Please don't tell me it's coming from the government, whatever's left of it. North America is turning into North Korea version 2. Wow. UK is finding people who are driving their cars.
Important that the public understand that they follow the measures, they follow the guidance. The police are out and about already. The point now is that as of today, the police have enforcement powers, and those powers involve the ability to level a fine, and that fine will increase if people do not comply and do not pay that fine on time. And that will be based under the fixed penalty notice and the regulations that are now coming into place today.
They are using this pandemic or plandemic to hijack our country and force us into almost a slave state. It's almost beyond belief. And if they think this is going to be, enough to predict our potential problem, I don't know. Do they really want this? Because this is not what the American people are going to put up with. You know that. I don't know how many cases in my state, they were all fabricated out of nursing homes. Look, unless we see real bodies and real photographs, not this is terrible, hospitals are overcrowded, blah, 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 unless we see real truth, like we did during the Vietnam War when we saw people losing their lives, unless we see that, we cannot possibly sacrifice our rights. And it would be stronger for us to form a political union against this as a nation. Much better for all of us. They're trying to put the screws down by controlling our leaders like Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi, and using the purse strings and how these people are so addicted to money against them. And we have such a buffoon as a president, he might as well have said this. My test was negative. In fact, it was so negative that the doctor said they never saw a negative number so low. It was perfectly negative. Actually, it was hugely perfectly negative, and tremendous too. My doctor said it was the best and greatest score of anyone who has ever taken the test. I mean, this is a person who fills up space with nothing, but compliments himself incessantly. What the hell, man? So why would he still be president? Because the Democrats weren't strong enough to impeach him. Why is he still getting away with the unbelievable task of pretending to be president? Because no one's actually able to stop a guy who's already passed through one impeachment trial. And you constantly support him for some reason, you Republicans. Yeah, good luck. Well, I made a point. I haven't heard stats on male-female either slow modes except from all the world press. No government agent in America said that more men die of this than women. Only foreign press said that. No government agent in America said that men and women with O positive and negative blood are more resilient against this. If you got AB, you're more likely to get it. Nobody said that either. They're also not talking about it being a bioweapon or man-made, which it is. So if you don't recognize the fact that your government's lying to you, and there are no test kits, I told you that, there's only Q-tips. I mean, it doesn't get simpler than that. So we've got it, the handwriting is on the wall, as Nebuchadnezzar said in Egypt, and we need to look at the handwriting on the wall. It's literally saying we are being led by absolute corruption. I've been saying it all along. That's why I've been building this third party for the past 12 years. Thank you, by the way. Yeah, it's not been proven to work. Their lab released, they have a 5-minute COVID-19 test. It's an assessment. Yeah. If this is something that they think they can do right away, it hasn't been checked or run against peer-reviewed studies. Dr. Nirav Shah says the new test gives results of whether someone's infected in 5 minutes. It's a big step, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are trying to make money on this right now. They're going to produce 50,000 tests per day. Okay. Well, if it works, great. But the test that they have, it's a toaster oven size thing. The test they have actually it takes 7 hours for it to work, according to a Georgia mayor. Yeah, he actually talked about it. Excuse me, not a mayor. The Georgia governor talked about how the test kits take 5 to 7 hours to work. He did that in a press conference. A Georgia mayor is saying he's going to allow social mingling. He doesn't have a problem with it. So a lot of state and local officials are going against the grain here. Donald Trump dealt with the big question of the government and the jails and how the jails are being released today. He talked about it on his self-adoring newscast that he loves to get good ratings on. Yeah, we're kind of sad that this president is allowing this. He said that he's looking into how he's going to stop the state and local government from releasing jailers. He's looking into it. That's what he said. He's investigating how he's going to stop this from happening. Isn't that nice of him? Yeah, he's going to look into it. Donald Trump is going to look into it. Isn't that great? Okay. Let's take a look.
So you have to see what's going on, and we don't like it, the people don't like it, and we're looking into see if I have the right to stop it in some cases. Okay?
Mr. President.
Anyway,
I think they built all together, everybody, not me, everybody, the greatest economy in history. Restaurants. But the boom of the restaurants is when they had deductibility, where corporations could use them. So, and entertainment. That was a great thing. But
it was a great thing. The restaurants was a great thing. Entertainment, it was a great thing.
They closed it and then they closed it again, and it wasn't the same. But you want to get them back, you do that. But infrastructure, we borrow our money now at zero. You know, if we were paying 5%, 4%, 3%, it's a different ballgame. Literally zero, you know that, because we're considered the safe investment all over the world. They want money in the United States. That's where they want the money. So I know better than anybody. I know what they're going through, and it's horrible. But you know what I want to do? I want to be able to get them back fast. When this is over, it's going to be a day we're going to celebrate, because everyone's going to go to work, and I think we're going to have boom times. I think it's going to be great. And we've learned a lot. We've learned about borders. We've learned about reliance on other countries. We've learned so much.
We've learned to shut the economy down. We've learned so much. We're shutting the economy down, whereas the Swedes they're letting it go. The kids are going to school, they're going to restaurants, everything's rolling in Sweden right now, but oh no, we had to shut it down. Unbelievable. Well, let's take a look and see what happened at Life Care Center. We've got some more important information about the Kirkland, the epicenter of this outbreak here in America. The Life Center, the Kirkland Life Center, which many people claim is owned by Health Systems LLC. We're doing some background research on this, if it's connected to Jared Kushner, which allegedly it is. This is a judgment that came out 4 years ago where Life Center and its owner agreed to pay $145 million to resolve a government lawsuit alleging Life Care violated False Claims Act by knowingly causing skilled nursing facility to submit false claims to Medicare and TRICARE. Yeah, this could be it. This could be debt forgiveness. They chose Life Care because they had a $160 million outstanding debt. There you go. It might still be related to Jared Kushner. It may be a quick way to get out of a $160 million debt and have 19 people die in one day and say, oh, the epicenter is growing so quickly. And they didn't even put a lock on any of the doors going in and out of that facility for 2 or 3 days after we found out it was a terrible open potential infected zone. Could be. Good question. Thank you. Unbelievable. Okay, no one is allowed out on Sundays. Yeah, it's almost like what you're writing is a script for Fahrenheit 451. Back in the day, this was a big thing. The idea of a world 1984 style coming. People discussed this many, many years ago. I wouldn't doubt that's what's going to happen. Well, if we don't seize our rights, they get taken away from us. It's a simple scenario. It's like using a muscle. If you let a muscle sit and don't use it, it atrophies. Well, we've let whatever's left of our democracy atrophy. We haven't realized the full potential. Many of us have grown up thinking, well, you just vote for a Democrat or Republican Party, that's all you got to do. No. They know that. They realize that's the illusion of choice. They've given you that. You never stepped it up to the next level to actually build this political movement. So here I am every day doing what I can to give you what I think is best for the country. But we're kind of in the fast track to being taken out. All of us are. It's just a matter of time before they force inoculate the population with RFID chips and cancer cells in the inoculations. We've already seen the CDC make years of mistakes where they give cancer cells to people instead of a good, solid inoculation of, and I don't even trust the idea of vaccines at this point, after the years of abuse. I'm so glad I didn't get the polio vaccine. I hear that it had this dangerous cancer SV40 gene in it. How to ransom the world. Engineer a virus, release the virus, that's the bioweapon portion of this, use media to create panic, control the narrative, drive the stock market down, buy up all cheap stock, release the vaccine again, aerially even, spray it in the skies, enforce mandatory worldwide vaccination for a man-made retrovirus that shouldn't exist. And then make billions off fear, and more importantly, not only that, depopulate the world by injecting cancer cells in their bodies. Because again, none of these things are being checked for safety. Okay, back to you in the room. Thanks for sharing the main lab test. Appreciate it, Super Dave. At least they're working on something. I know that Martin Shkreli's working on something right now. Okay, this was 2 years ago. Let's look at the date. This is going to be a predictive moment here. The elites like to predict their eventual strike against the population. Stephen Schwartz. When the next pandemic occurs, and make no mistake, it will, the federal government is unable to respond in a coordinated and effective fashion to protect the lives of U.S. citizens and others. This decision by John Bolton and Donald Trump will be why. Wow. Yeah, it's May of 2018. Look at that. Top White House officer in charge of pandemic response exits abruptly. So he left his job warning everybody of what was coming. Wow. Timothy Zimmer's departure Tuesday and the disbanding of his team at the National Security Council signaled a downgrading of global health at Washington Post. Wow, that is huge. Thanks, Misanthropy. That's a huge little piece of information there. Well, they've done it. They pulled it off. Now we have to just figure out what our response as Americans is going to be. Now, if we don't mobilize politically for the 2020 election, we're dead in the water. We know that. There's a lot of things that are floating out here in this two-dimensional world we're looking at here on the screen. While mainstream media outlets try to argue that conservatives aren't taking COVID-19 seriously, there's a reminder of how they reported on the virus, basically. The way the conservatives took it, it's almost like it was a joke at first, but now they've taken it full bore and they're in lockstep with the New World Order. Don't worry about the coronavirus, worry about the flu. Zero American fatalities is dominating headlines. So it's almost like the Republicans thought this was just a hoax to start with, which I kind of agree with it. You know, I do agree. It is kind of a hoax, except for the fact that there is a real bioweapon at play. But clearly, the flippant nature of Donald Trump has led us to this place, and he should serve civil crimes for having allowed people to die now, if indeed they are dying. See, we just don't have a lot of truth out of this. Let's see what this says. Has anyone else noticed that the world leaders aren't wearing face masks, self-isolating, or practicing social distancing? Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, especially the imbeciles that are leading this entire charade. Yeah, it's amazing. So this is a big plan, and like Pompeo said, it's an exercise. They're conducting an exercise. This is a live exercise, folks. So I think it's only fitting that we should all get up and do some arm lifts and maybe some Richard Simmons things. And you go, okay, everybody, we're going to do the pandemic jog. No, this is a live exercise. And that's what he believes, which I think is pretty sad that they're even using a live exercise to keep us all like trapped rabbits. We got to talk about Duterte. Yeah, it's time. Oh, I think Sarah got rid of Duterte. Good. Then we don't have to talk about Duterte. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yes, there's Duterte. Well, right here, take a look. He's telling everybody that if they leave their homes, he will shoot them on sight. Now, our president likes Donald Trump likes Duterte. He likes all the vicious mass murderers, All the dictators. That's the guy you like. You like Donald Trump. You know, the guy who said that he could kill somebody and then his loyal followers would still vote for him. Well, here's Duterte, and look at his eyes. Tell me this guy's not higher than a kite on heroin. I mean, look at this. Oh, yeah. Check it. Did you enjoy looking into his eyes? Yeah, he's pretty high, folks. So Duterte is high on heroin. He's telling all other dealers that they're going to die, and he's killing them summarily because he must have a really good connection on heroin. And he's telling everybody, he's allowing for the use of deadly force against those found violating lockdown standards implemented in an effort to curtail the spread of the coronavirus. He's telling people to shoot on sight. Is that understood? Dead. Instead of causing trouble, he will bury them. Okay. Well, you know, it's good we have Donald Trump who likes him, you know, because that's a sign of a strong leader who wants to kill people on sight that just happen to walk out of their houses, right? That's the kind of guy you like. Donald Trump, a man who emulates Duterte. Yeah, he's the coke king. You call that coke? That's heroin, man. I've seen coke. You want to see coke? I'll show you cocaine eyes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't really show you the eyes of a cocaine addict. My mistake. Yeah, I can't really say. I've never tox screened this guy. No. But we'll find out what you think. Let's take a look.
PAs, handhelds, I've seen these. What do we have that's new?
Try it yourself. That's what I did.
Okay, let's, for some reason that's not coming in. Okay, let's kind of take a look at his eyes real quick here. Now, I don't know, there could be something going on here. Now, I don't know if he does coke or not, but you never know. Okay. That would be a cocaine eye. What kind of job is spewing tonight? I ain't job turkey, man. Y'all messing around, man. I'm not job turkey. That's a cocaine eye, but I don't know if he does cocaine. It just looks like a cocaine eye. I'm alleging that it's a cocaine eye. This is a heroin eye. Big difference. Yeah, big difference between the two looks, the look of a heroin eye and the look of a cocaine eye. Let me close up on this, okay? It's important you know the difference. You can call me a marijuana eye if you want, yeah. Let's take a look. These four eyes imply, on the left is cocaine, possibly. I don't know for sure, but possibly. And on the right here, this is definitely heroin. I'm sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I got sleepy eyes. Hold on just a second. I am now getting up to get the phone. Hold on, please. Beep. You're just trying to interrupt the show. Now, can we all agree that these are heroin eyes? Yeah, Dave, these are heroin eyes. And these could possibly be cocaine eyes? Yeah, Dave. Okay. All right. Okay, let's take a look at that and let's focus on those eyes for a second. Hold on, please. Yes, can I help you? Oh. Yes, can I help you? Hello? What can I do for you? All right. Okay, so I'm of the conclusion that this guy is definitely on something. I don't know what. Maybe just life. Maybe he's just so happy he sexed with his girlfriend Sanchez. I just sexed with her. Oh, I'm so happy. Let's get serious, shall we? We've got a complete buffoon running the country. The least I can do is provide you a little bit more sober political discourse. Let's take your questions. This will be your question and answer time. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to ask me any question you want. Are you seriously stoned? No, I'm not stoned. No. My eyes appear a little red because I've been, going outside amidst the coronavirus that's spraying in the atmosphere, and I've been looking around, and I have to use these special glasses because the virus will get in my eyes, and then I have to spray my eyes with all kinds of cleansers to keep them clean. So no, I don't have red eyes. Mad rush at Chinese border. Oh yeah. How could they have a mad rush when they have hardly anybody dying there? I don't know what the big deal is. China's like way overwhelmed with this. If nobody's dying in China, I don't know why there's a big mad rush. Could anyone explain that, please? Oh, I get along great with Xi Jinping. We talked about everything except the important issues. We talked about the weather. He's a great guy. We talked for an hour. What did you talk about? Well, we talked about how they're handling the situation is wonderful. Blah, 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 etc., etc. Well, did you ask him why he waited 2 months to tell people that the world was going to light up with a bioweapon, which you won't even admit is a bioweapon? No, we can't talk about anything important like that, but we talk about other things like the weather. Psycho Behavior wants to know about the timeline. Why did China blame the virus on bat soup? COVID-19 was a biowarfare that got out into the public from tested rats. I know, and we've got a lot of videos to back that up, Psycho Behavior. Tonight we'll talk about how the virus leaked out of the Wuhan virology lab, like I've been saying for the past 6 months. You think that was video shopped, really? That's just fake. People aren't really screaming from worry about dying of the virus. Everything is fine in China. You weren't allowed to see that. That was strictly verboten. No one is allowed to see the truth. What about this guy? We talked about him earlier in the show. The authorities got, not this guy per se, this is a woman wearing a mask. It's not a guy. So they found some hoarder, I don't know what he looks like, but alleged hoarder was holding an N95 masks, million of these things. In his house, they found it, and they're going to reacquire them so Donald Trump can sell them in a kiosk with machines. Yeah, he was one of these hoarders. He just loved buying N95 masks. He bought them on the internet. He just kept hoarding them all over. They finally traced the one purchaser of all these N95 masks to this house in the middle of, was this Queens? Yeah. Hey, you guys, where are you located? Are you in Queens or what? What the hell? What was that? Look at this guy. Yeah, they got full-on gear. They're all set. Looks like a nice neighborhood. Hot Rails, you got a real problem there, man. You're gonna lose your account again if you keep this up. They could be tainted, like the blankets that the Native Americans or the Native South Americans got, the Aztecs got from Cortez. He brought tainted blankets with smallpox on them. We could be getting tainted masks sent from China right now. We saw how upset that Chinese woman, who, by the way, Thank you, Insane Canadian. You gave me the truth about... She's Mandarin, folks. I don't know. Martial law in 30 days is a bit fast. I would give it at least 2 or 3 months. You're worse than a thief, lady. You're sick. You're laughing gleefully that you're taking the masks away from people that may need them. This is not even... She feels like a thief. She should feel like a worm waiting to go to hell. You don't like Mandarin? Yeah. I prefer Szechuan myself. But, I like the spice, the heat, the taste. The look of love is in your Chinese food tonight. The look of... Hey, let's check this out. You think she needs to be stoned? I don't know. She could be getting high. I don't know. She's getting high on stealing buying these things at stores with no limits. Look at how excited she is. There are no limits at store. Ha ha.
这边的人还不知道，现在是我在佛罗里达的中部开了1个半小时，然后可能华人比较少，他们还不知道口罩的事儿呢。又一次成功结账，心里太舒服了。又来一车，帮妈妈装呢。
Oh, helping Mama to load the mask. Someday you'll grow up and be a snake and become like Mama and take masks because other people can use them. Ha ha! You'll grow up to be like that. The truck is full. I can only move the masks here.
Oh, you find it? Yeah. 装满，耶，满满的一卡车，历史性的时刻，继续还能有40多分钟到营地。
Okay, she's going to a campsite, so I'm not really sure. Is she camping? Is she a Chinese national who's camping in our country, taking our masks? You gotta wonder. Excellent Mandarin, though, I must say. Thank you, Insane Canadian. Thank you. Appreciate it. Manufacturing employee tampering with newly produced face mask, live leak. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Thanks for sharing that. I played that a couple times already, but I'll play it again. Let me cue that up in just a second here. Hang on. Well, we would consider, we do the Super Bowl from closed captioned, closed circuit TV. The Super Bowl would not be canceled, no. Everybody at the Super Bowl in 2021 would have face masks to prevent any COVID transmission. Special designed helmets with air conditioners on them. We'd have state-of-the-art air-conditioned helmets for everybody. But nobody in the stands. It'll just be a closed-circuit TV kind of thing. Oh, I remember seeing this. Yeah, look at this. He's cleaning his feet with the mask that we're wearing. I think this was one of the ones he had on the floor there. It smells kind of like his toes. Yeah, no, that's my breath blowing back in my face. Hang on. Yeah, I smell toe jam in there. I know, but it's the only thing I can wear outside. Otherwise, I'll be poisoned by the bioweapon that China released. And Donald Trump said, no, this is not a bioweapon. I've got a very good relationship with President Xi Jinping. And I'm very close to Vladimir Putin, too. Yeah. Oh, so it's not a bioweapon, except every virologist in the world says it is? Can't we just put a mask on him right here? Let's just pretend like he's wearing a mask, okay? This is what your president would look like wearing a mask. There it is. That's if he had a mask on. Boy, you Trump-tards are very quiet tonight. You must be a little bit apologetic that you voted for an asshole as a president. Wow. Shut the entire economy down over some woman who doesn't know diddly squat about vaccines or viruses or anything, who literally ran the entire Walter Reed hospital program into the garbage. Yeah. I know. This is the kind of people you are. There she is. Old mother's shoe. Oh, there's Pence acting so important, like he's got everything under control. You know, I don't even think that Michael Pence tells his wife that he masturbates. You know? Well, excuse me, I don't think any Christian man has ever masturbated. How dare you? I don't snort anything. I don't do coke, crack, speed, oregano. I'm not a snorter. I have smoked a little doobie, and I have vaped a couple times. Yeah. I'm the originator of the actual vape lounge, the creator and designer of the blimp plane. I mean, I have certain things that no other human being on earth can say. It makes me feel important, kind of like she does. She wants to feel important. You know, she just reeks of that, how can I suck up to you attitude? And so does Mike Pence. These two suck-ups basically have tied our country into a knot, and now we're wondering where to go. But you know, let's wait for the curve to lower. Let's just pretend like everything's great, like the Democrats. Meanwhile, we're all like wondering, gee, our country's economy is going to collapse. Isn't that a little worse than a few people dying of the flu? Hello? Ding dong, anybody out there in Brainland? Okay. I'm moving on here. Oh, wait a second. We got another strong contender to the presidency appearing in New York. Andrew Cuomo has really stepped up, folks. Being the Democrat, you know, he might even vie for the position of the nominee of the Democratic ticket. He may push Joe out of the way. He's been... Wait a second. What are those things in his nipple area? Did Andrew Cuomo pierce his nipples? Wow. That'd be kind of hard for him to run for office, wouldn't it? With pierced nipples and telling the American people, how many people would vote for him just because he pierced his nipples? Press 1. 15 more days to flatten the curve. Yay. Well, I'll be celebrating 15 days from now. And you would vote for him just because he pierces his nipples, Joe? Oh, God. You too, John. Same with you, Slow Modes. You nipple piercing people really are out to lunch. You really think that's cool, huh? Oh, man. I doubt that's the only thing pierced, but frankly, I don't need to know. So 15 more days of nonstop broadcasting. I'm on my 18th day, 14 hours a day. I'm in territory Jerry Lewis couldn't even get in. Jerry Lewis couldn't even get close to this. He did 24-hour marathons. I've done consecutive 14 hours a day for 18 days straight. I'm in a new realm of life casting. The Pope is unleashing his full arsenal. What does he have? A really bad case of flatulence? Hey, if you're going to send artillery pictures to us, unless you want to conduct ear rape, you better warn me. Okay? Okay, let's take a look at that picture. Here, get ready for more ear rape. Oh, I can't play that. That's pretty funny though. Yeah, it reminds me of Apocalypse Now, and I can't play that. I'm sorry. That's monetizable. But it'll play it later though. So we're just gonna sit around like hopeful little hiding little bunny rabbits waiting for the end and hope that the man doesn't take us away until... Well, I don't think there's anything to distract us about. Andrew Cuomo is too little too late. and his nepotism and relationship with his father, Mario, and now his brother. Did you see his brother, Chris Cuomo, laughing and smiling that he had COVID-19? He had a smirk on his face. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. A guy finds out he's diagnosed with something that could kill him, and he's got a smile on his face. I don't believe Chris Cuomo has COVID-19. No way. They just put him out there as like the poster man of COVID attacks. Just, prior to that, it was Tom Hanks, the other Illuminati puppet. Believe me, Chris Cuomo and all the others are too tied to the Illuminati to not think that they're being groomed for that role. I'm surprised they didn't run Chris as the potential candidate over Andrew. He's got a more winning look. I mean, he clearly, well, not that his brother isn't good looking, but he doesn't have his nipples pierced. And that alone would give him a better chance to win, don't you think? I'm sorry. We shouldn't talk about this in front of a woman. Sorry, ladies. Yes, I know, for your money. If you guys have a problem getting into the chat room, why don't you go over to our alternative chat room? I've said a couple times. I'm not going to get nipples pierced, no. I want you to go to the alternative chat room over at DLive.tv whenever you guys have a problem. They've got a better signal over there. You're the pervert. They got a better signal over there. Whenever you have a problem, yeah. Okay, let's take off. Sarah's going to give you some time now, some you time. The future of AI and cybernetics. Oh, yeah, that's kind of out of the movies. Look at that. That's kind of a cool background, isn't it? Cat technology. Very interesting. Well, I guess that's technology we have to look at. It's coming. The question is, do we want it run by a corporate structure, or do we want a democracy to run our AI systems? Wouldn't you rather have a democratically led country than some corporatist-led oligarchy? Think about it, folks, because you've got about maybe 2 more weeks or so to figure this out, or it's all over. So, yeah. Take care.
Okay.
They said that people went down underground April 1st, and they're coming out April 20th. So between now and April 20th, something is planned in this country.
And I heard that our governor just extended the stay-at-home order till May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. All right. Well, if Andrew Cuomo wants to pierce his nipples, so be it. If you want to vote for him, so be it. I don't care anymore. Whatever.
People can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodness gracious. Fox, you think it's just beginning? It's only just begun to live. I'm not going to call someone a name because they pierced something, 205. This is why you're not looking forward to election season. I know. You have to be the one to figure out what's real or what's not. I know someone that the 4-Hour Workweek author says he tries to get his work week down to 4 hours. I don't know how he does it. Actually, he does it by hiring a lot of overseas workers, I guess. But one of the things he says is he also doesn't listen to the news. Oh, the big earring expanders? Yeah, I don't think I would do that. That's for sure. Wouldn't want to do it. I didn't write down the new numbers that I saw came in last night at 11:59:41, which was, I think it said 114 cases in Island County. Not yet, Pirate. Not yet. That is a cool picture. I'll let David look at that later. 114 cases, 3 deaths so far in Island County.
Look what you made today.
Look what we made today.
Well, you did a lot of the work. Look at those 3 beautiful loaves.
Of banana bread.
And I double wrapped them, and I pulled the air out of them, so they're ziplocked, ready for freezer space. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Welcome.
That was great. Wow.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. They all had a problem washing their hair. What was it? What was the problem? They all got the flu. What? Yeah, Governor Inslee extended Washington state's corona stay-home order through May 4th. Before, I think it was through like April 7th. It extends it nearly a month. It's going to remain in effect a full 6 weeks. He says the fastest way to economic recovery is a recovery of our health, which is fundamental to all we hold dear. Restaurants can still provide takeout but not dine in. A lot of construction projects have stopped. Oh, I didn't know. David did an unban all and then it got quieter. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever told him that, the biker. My day was really good. I sat in a online teleconference most of the day, but I really liked the way that the presenters did the teleconference. Yes, it was a Zoom meeting. Yes, Zoom did start these waiting rooms now, so it's a little safer, less likely to get Zoom bombed. But it was really good because they had like built-in like breaks. They would say, okay, we're going to send you on like a 10-minute break and we're going to have you ponder this question, or, you know, get up and go text someone something nice, or it's pretty cool. Oh, did you see the other one too?
I'm going to get this one in the lineup right now.
But yeah, and then while I was in that conference, I got some messages from, it was funny because I got a phone call during my lunch break during that conference from a parent to help her student, because she's like, the automated computer system that's optional right now, but we'll see what happens in a couple of weeks. it has automated lessons that adjust based on a test the kids took back in January. And she's like, these lessons are just way too easy for my child. Can you make them more difficult? She's getting bored. And so I went in and adjusted her lessons. And meanwhile, I was like, it's interesting that you said that, because I just got I had also gotten a email from a colleague asking to how to set a or reset a student, like that it's too difficult. The lessons will shut down on them if they get too many wrong. So I was doing some screen capture, like capturing a screen to give directions to my colleague about how to turn the lessons back on for the students when they get shut off. And I was resetting that thing and that was my lunch break. But fortunately the conference didn't go that long. I think it was really lunch for like East Coast people. And so I had my lunch after. And then, but it was a really good message. It was more about, like, I would say it boiled down to kindness and helping kids develop, they call them soft skills or things like that. But yeah, it was really, I really enjoyed it. So we are staying at home 2105. We're not quarantined per se, so I could go to, I'm considered an essential worker, so if I needed to get something from my classroom, I could. But or I could even go in and make phone calls to students, but then but I've been trying to just stay home. But now next week is our official spring break. It was already scheduled to be our spring break. And then the week after that, we're going to be starting our distance learning, but we might start a little slow and really reestablishing relationships and things like that. Yeah, the product. Yeah, that's true. So I am working, but it's all remote working. And like, oh, and while I was on that cool learning teleconference for my, I got an email saying you need to reach out to families and call them and make sure that they all have the technology that they need to do distance learning in the 2 weeks, April 13th. Well, in our state, we're doing required distance learning starts April 13th. And our school district, they had, like, from day one of the closure, they had learning packets that were accessible online and paper packets that the family could pick up. So it's really, I mean, they gave the parents plenty to keep the kids busy if they wanted to do that. But they made them optional until April 13th. Did I know the 2020 quarter's out already? The design is 2 bats on the back. I did not know that. Enjoy Connect hates the idea of distance learning. It's not the same as physically being there. I know, it's definitely not. Okay, but what if parents have to work or something? They have to find somewhere to leave their kid with a computer and internet access instead? Isn't it hard enough for them right now? Yes, which is why everything has been optional up to this point and will be optional till April 13th. And even when it's no longer optional, we're going to do our best to not overwhelm families but still provide some learning. Yeah, not all are choosing to do the distance learning. I mean, yeah. Anyway. I don't know, the CARES Act, they incorporated that as a coronavirus response, but yes, unfortunately, like I ended up calling a relative because the student happened to be there at the relative's house because the parents had to work. For you, Moni, that did not work for me. I agree about the schedule. It will be asynchronous learning, so it will be, here's what you need to do. And I don't know about any, I think most of it will be asynchronous, like they can work on it at their own time, which is everything up to now has been optional since the closure. Sometimes you wonder why you're, oh, well, you want me to think of an anagram for coronavirus? I am Googling it. I didn't Google all of it, but I was just Googling what an anagram is. Victorious? No. I don't know. That's really tricky. Here, I'll show you my screen. What I did Google what's an anagram. I don't mind. But I didn't Google anagram coronavirus, I just Googled anagram. I think that's a great idea, Misanthropy. Yeah, parents want to homeschool their kid. That's fantastic. But coronavirus, an anagram for that. That's a hard one. Croon, scroon, vacuum, vacuumness. I don't know. You want me to Google it now? I'll have to go off in case it comes up with something weird. I am Googling it now. Really? Carnivorous. Oh, that's the person that put it in the room. Carnivorous. Do you think this is like them trying to get people to not eat meat? I completely agree with you, slow modes, which is one of the things I'm really looking forward to, this distance learning. That is very weird with a bat. That's so weird. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for you, money. I'll leave it up for David. But they can, yeah. And one of the things that I liked in my little webinar thing today was that they talked about, hey, we should be physically distancing. That doesn't necessarily mean, social. We should be social and teaching social skills. Yeah, it happens when you turn your age, misanthropy. I don't even know how old you are. No, cereal. Where did you get that idea from? That's my what the. I don't think the number of cases with are like currency made up out of thin air. I don't think so. The hive mind is still intact. But learning mistakes through social media is maybe subject to an opinion formed without consequences. Can you give me an example of what you're talking about, slow modes? Oh, good to know, NNUS. He's always coming out with weird ideas. YGG, Ygorf. Yes, that is David. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. People might insult you on social media, but they would never do it face to face because of fear of physical consequences. Yeah. No cereal. Where did you come up with that idea? Confirmed coronavirus cases worldwide past the 1 million mile point after doubling in less than a week. And gee, I think that's what we said. Every 2 to 3 days, 20 doublings. So in about another month, it'll be 1 billion. You want to do social media distancing? I'm not doing social media distancing. I like social media. I'm connecting on social media. It's easier to say words on there, but some people do not like the truth. True. How are you, stealth mode? I'm doing well. I say 2 things are going to get me through this. And actually, it's kind of funny. Instead of calling it social distancing, I call it separate collectiveness and collective separateness. Both of those things. And they're 2 different things. I'm coming up with my own definitions here. Separate collectiveness is when you don't live with the people that you don't live with, you actually connect with on social media or phone calls, etc. And Collective separateness is making sure that you have your own individual workspace so that you can move away from the people you do live with if they annoy you. Not that they do, but just making sure. You need to all have your own separate workspaces if you're for the people that you live with, and make sure you reach out to the people that you love that you don't live with. That's basically it. Slow mode thinks people learn the balancing act of being social much better in real life. You can be witty online and awkward in real life simply because of the other factors and environment. Yeah, you know, the thing is though, I feel like it's really, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just socially awkward, but I don't think it's just me. I think there are some people that I know that I look at them and I think, wow, you seem really put together. And they have, when I get to know them, they say the same things I'm about to say, which is, I think it's very difficult to make friends as an adult. Very difficult. I think school and the school environment makes it easier to make friends. I think that one of my roles as a teacher is to help people, students especially, is to help students make friends and navigate friendships and the different issues involved with friendships. And so I think it's really difficult for people to make friends as adults. And you know, so some adults, we end up throwing ourselves into work or things like that rather than the whole issue of like going up to someone and saying, hello, how are you? It's not difficult. You have a lot of friends. How old are you? Wait, maybe I'm just talking about over 30-year-olds. Well, I'm glad you have a really good job then. You've got a social job. Making friends is easy as long as you're a certain way. Then are they really your friends if you have to be a certain way with them? Yeah, I did read that, Wong Guang. True. You can't live in fear. We're all humans and make mistakes. That's good. Would you like to be my friend? I know, like, I don't know. I haven't really said that. I mean, maybe. Some people on here think their cat is their only true friend. Thank you, Burrito Life. Oh, okay, 536. Where are you that your town hasn't closed? Oh, wait, don't tell me that because then somebody that's infected might go to your town. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, what do you need help with? Stealth mode. I don't know, I'm really busy, but you'll think you had a meaningful conversation with someone one day offline, and the next time you talk to them, you ask yourself, what's wrong with the person? Turns out they were just agreeing with you, but they don't have much going on in their head. I know, that's the problem too, 105. I don't know if it's that easy. Maybe it's that easy for you, but I don't know. 2105 says he's met a lot of people who lack personality. They have no personality. Their face is blank. It makes them boring. True. 536 says exclamation mark. His bars and such are still open. True. I don't believe it, Wygorf. But whatever. I don't believe a whole lot of things. Come in and tell David about it in the morning. Yeah. It does give certain people a personality. There is a certain hazy personality out there. I don't get along. I don't get that. You gotta joke around sometimes. That's my problem. I have no, like, I do have a sense of humor. I really do. But my sense of humor is so completely different than, say, David's sense of humor that I sometimes think I don't have a sense of humor. But then, like, it's weird, like, and it's so completely different. Like, I see David and his sister, they'll get together and they'll start talking and they'll laugh, and I'm like totally don't think what they think is funny is funny. I don't. And then, which is fine, but then I say things like, my dad says something, and I'm like, I totally have the same sense of humor as my dad. Like, whatever my dad says, and it's like, it's very quirky. It's very dry sense of humor. Like, I hate body humor, like fart jokes or jokes about people's body parts. I don't like any of that at all. But I really do like wordplay, and it's just kind of weird. And I don't like Three Stooges. Ew, no. Yeah, I don't like crude humor. I know, I am more of the intellectual type. It's awesome being smart, but try to get in the mood too. I can do that. You know what helps me get in the mood is dancing. But that's okay. I say that, but then I haven't danced in a long time. Something happens on dating sites if a woman says she smokes and you don't smoke, but you're okay with people using toking or whatever, you still should message her, because if she's like, I smoke, that she probably, oh, I hate that biker. I like bikers, but whatever. The biker in my chat room just said I didn't like what he said. I like bikers though. Not that I know of, Serial, but there's a lot of David's life I didn't know him, so maybe, but not that I know of, not that he told me about. Did you ever take dancing lessons for 12 years?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, I took a square dancing course in 5th grade. I think everyone is required to do it.
You took a course in 5th grade?
Yeah, square dancing, do-si-do and all that.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
It was like a 2-week course, you know, we had to do it. It was just so disturbing. I didn't like it. And I went to a bar one time, like a 2-step bar, country western.
That's really cool, stealth mode.
I didn't go out there and do it though. No. I don't like line dancing. You've been looking into orbital and gravitational mechanics? Yeah.
I'm definitely introverted.
You did that too, Todd? Yeah, square dancing in 5th grade.
It's funny. I think a lot of people, they say that teachers are often introverted. But, you know, we get up and like, yeah. I don't mind like presenting. I don't mind, but how is that? I don't know. It's weird. Because I don't mind like presenting and being on stage even, but it's like going to a party and being in like social situations.
Yeah, it's more difficult for people when they're in parties, and sometimes when they're in front of a group of people. You could be a Toastmaster at a Toastmaster club.
Yeah.
You were muted earlier for your money because you made a horrible statement. I won't even repeat it. You know what you wrote. It was just ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes, I do have more time to think. I like to think.
Well, you were studying people a while back, or you were studying a book that studied people, and
Yeah.
that was interesting.
I like that book.
It was written in the 20s, right?
Yeah, it was How to Analyze People on Sight. And some people say, like, I've read, like, reviews of it later that they are, like, people are like, it's so wrong to judge people, or something. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just coming up. But when I read it, it just made sense to me, so whatever.
I think it made sense. I mean, you're a cerebral. There are people that are muscular. I tend to be I forget the word for it.
It's like skeletal.
Skeletal.
Or I forgot the word for it too, but it's more of, they call it.
Yeah.
But basically, you like to kind of stay home, and I don't know if that's true. You don't necessarily.
No,
like
I'm
to
more of
stay
a
home,
I'm more of a survivalist kind of person.
Yes, like a pioneer.
VA Biker says, Dave, how do I live with myself when I'm a 42-year-old virgin, fat, ugly, and balding? Well, I think I have a solution for you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you when Sarah leaves. So.
Okay, I'm gonna leave so David can tell you. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night, Sarah.
Oh,
Thanks for
man.
helping with the banana bread and everything. That was great. I put it all in the freezer.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Thanks for you had your dinner and I have my dinner.
Yeah, I'm eating lighter now. I'm losing a little weight. It's all good. Coronavirus cases worldwide passes 1 million after doubling in less than a week. That's if indeed you can believe all the statistics you read. China still has very low death count. Let me take a look at China's death count. I haven't been there yet. Chinese Defense Minister Wei Fang said, if they take our guns, they would invade our weapons, our only thing stopping China. Wow. China's defense minister is paranoid about us when then China was the one that had the bioweapon released? Wow. Okay. I keep notes of everything that I do in the shows, so I pull up a lot of, important links. Here's the corona pandemic link that was pulled off YouTube. They won't even publish it now, so you should go look for it. It's gone. I have chat logs of just things that people say that stand out. Okay, here's the link if you guys want to check the coronavirus link board. That's Corona pandemic. Yeah, you can check that out if you want. Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, 1 million. The numbers are pretty high. But again, this is normal for the flu. This is a normal total. Italy's now looking at 13,974 dead. And China's still sitting at 3,322. So China's only had approximately 77 people have died in 2 weeks in China. Only 77 people. So if we believe China's numbers, anything's possible. 322. Yeah, and then Russia has only reported, one person dying, even if that. So it does look like Russia and China are colluding together against us. I've got the chat log of what you said. Well, for your money, you said, and I quote, Sarah, has she ever considered putting a pillow over David's head and just say to everyone it was the coronavirus? That's what you said. And that's like not only making light of Elder's side, but it's also making light of me. It's like, what? So it's like a veiled, weird statement. It just didn't make sense. That's why you're muted. David, I heard that nobody in Shanghai and some other city were not getting sick. How is that possible when the entire world is getting sick? This was in China. That's why I'm saying, guess 210. China and Russia are in cahoots and are colluding against us. Oh, Pismo Beach is now enforcing social distancing at the beach. Wow. Pismo. Violators will be if you're hauled away. Let's take a look. Lockdown violators grabbed with social pliers in Nepal. Some guy named Pisbo is. So these social pliers are designed to keep people standing away from each other. I see. Okay. Well, it's just a matter of time before this turns bloody. This is crazy stuff, man. Thank you for giving me make me aware of that. Yeah, this can't be a good thing for a lot of you. And Duterte said shoot him dead. What's preventing people from shooting him dead or other people dead? I mean, I'm not saying anything bad should happen to Mr. Duterte, but doesn't he realize that he's asking for it when he tells people that? I know, but you see how that didn't last? It just, that statement just didn't really last very well. And I'm purging it now, but you can see how awkward that statement was for your money. No, and it's disturbing me to look at the picture of the social pliers. I think I'd rather look at the woman taking face masks out of Home Depot and bragging about how she's stopping Americans from being safe in her native language of Chinese.
然后我们去了另外一个地方找，然后就找到了，太开心了。还有呢，再去搬一下。
I keep buying more. People outside city area are nicer. Listen to this.
在城市外面的人就是比较 nice. Thank you so much. You're so kind.
Thank you so much. You're so kind. And then she's saying how great it is to take all the masks away from Americans. I have never seen somebody more two-faced in my life than this woman. I mean, she makes, she makes some of the most phony people on earth look credible. It could be. If China is really behind this and we really haven't verified that, we do know one thing, and that is that they purposely didn't tell anyone about this terrible disease, and they pulled one woman who was screaming out for help. They pulled her out, and they apparently got rid of her. She hasn't been seen since. The woman who was first reporting this a long, long time ago, and another doctor who died of the disease, the woman who's reporting this, Wei Lang, I believe her name was, she is missing completely, as well as a fairly famous blogger who in China has been saying bad things about Xi Jinping. A lot of people are just gone. Okay. Here's a statement from someone who may very well question even what this is. Jerry Day, we got a 16-minute video tonight. He says, is COVID, I found this interesting, maybe you will too. Yeah, let's listen in.
By Global Research on March 27th, 2020. The link to that article is in the notes below this video. This article, posted by author Julian Rose, is basically a copy-paste of a presentation from a medical forum. The original presenter, identified as a widely respected professional scientist in the U.S., prefers to stay anonymous because presenting any facts or information which may be contrary to official narratives can cause negative consequences for any medical professional who discloses that information. I have edited the article for clarity without changing its meaning or implications. And I quote, I work in the healthcare field. Here's the problem. We are testing people for general coronavirus, but we are not testing for any specific strain, such as COVID-19. Wow. There are no reliable tests for any specific COVID-19 virus. There are no reliable agencies or media outlets for reporting numbers of actual COVID-19 virus cases. This needs to be addressed first and foremost. Every action and reaction to COVID-19 is based on totally flawed data. Right. And we simply cannot make accurate assessments.
Exactly.
That is why you're hearing that most people with COVID-19 are showing nothing more than cold or flu-like symptoms.
Right.
That's because most coronavirus strains are nothing more than cold or flu-like symptoms. There are a few actual novel coronaviruses, and those cases do have some worse respiratory responses, but still have a very promising recovery rate, especially for those with prior issues. The gold standard in testing for COVID-19, the one that could identify COVID-19, would use laboratory isolated and purified coronavirus particles, free from any contaminants and particles that look like viruses but are not, that have been proven to be the cause of the syndrome known as COVID-19, and obtained by using proper viral isolation methods and controls. But the type of testing being done, some of which are referred to as PCR, do not detect the virus as such. PCR tests, which stands for polymerase chain reaction, basically takes a sample of your cells and amplifies any DNA to look for viral sequences, such as bits of non-human DNA that seem to match parts of a known viral genome.
Well, this sounds very fascinating, and I would love to hear more of it, and I will add it to tonight's list of things we'll be playing our video show after 10 o'clock. So it'll be in the lineup tonight. I definitely think that he's onto something. There is no COVID-19 test. I've looked into this at length, and I've been told by many people that this does not exist. It's just Q-tips, folks. They've been lying to all of us about everything. That's the latest, Time Pilot. They've been lying to us about everything. Donald Trump said there's 1 million test kits, no problem. Doesn't exist. Yeah, anybody could deep fake a GIF. And, you can get anybody to say anything. If many of you are doing videos of Donald Trump, you've probably seen this. They apparently can make anybody's mouth move now with current mapping technology, CGI. Very interesting. Thank you. Something is wrong here. Yeah, we have to find new avenues around this censorship that's going on. And luckily for us, we do have a big show, and we are broadcast 14 hours a day now. And I expanded the hours for our show because I felt the need was there to give you guys something to watch. Yeah, so Sweden has got a whole different approach to this. That everybody's on the streets, going to restaurants. The kids are allowed to go to school. They're not shutting their economy down because it's not sustainable to shut our economy down. And the Swedish people know full well they've got to keep things rolling to keep money rolling and to keep people's income rolling. What Donald Trump has done is unthinkable. It's the stupidest thing anybody in the world could have done to shut down our economy. Now, you may disagree and we've got to lower the curve and all that crap, but what happens after 6 weeks when there's still reported COVID deaths in nursing homes, which there will be? It's either another reason to keep us closed down, which will hurt our country for an additional longer period of time, or it's just really a call awakening to say, hey, well, let's just get this thing rolling again regardless. And the reality is the Swedish model is perfect. They see it as a long-term reality that if there's a bad flu out there, and there is, we just have to deal with it. So, yeah, when I read Dr. Fauci's article that he just wrote, the lead guy on the subject, the little guy that stands next to Trump being 6'1", and Dr. Fauci being 5'6". I understand that Dr. Fauci has a personal, like a thing for Hillary Clinton too. That's what I heard. I can't verify that, but somebody said he's in love with Hillary Clinton. He just absolutely loves her. Isn't that funny? So if Joe Biden chooses Hillary Clinton, it'd be a match made, and who knows? Hillary might just divorce Bill and marry Dr. Fauci. But anyway, he wrote this Navigating the Uncharted 6 days ago. And the third paragraph really struck us, and I want to thank the person who handed me this article. You know how invaluable this is. This is like gold when you think about it, because Dr. Fauci says, if someone assumes that the number of asymptomatic or minimally symptomatic cases is several times as high as the number of reported cases, which we're assuming, then the case fatality rate is considerably less than 1%. And it also suggests that the overall clinical consequences of COVID-19 may ultimately be more akin to those of severe seasonal influenza. Severe seasonal influenza. That's it. So we're dealing with a case of severe seasonal influenza, which has a case fatality rate of approximately 0.1%. So why are we all locked up in our house exactly? Well, the real reason why we're locked up in our house is not because we're trying to lower the curve. The real reason, and this is why a lot of the fake video and fake news from the mainstream media talks about people crowding hospitals which are plainly empty. The real reason is our country is being taken over from within. And that's something that's extremely serious, and I don't even think any of you can even handle it, frankly. I wish I could say otherwise. They just put $2.2 trillion in budget extended. We're now owing the Federal Reserve an additional $2.3 trillion and an additional $4 trillion beyond that in credit reserves. We will be beholden to the World Bank forever and ever and ever based on the current status of our government. And most of us won't collect a single penny of that. So the people that hijacked our government, who control it now from within the inner circle, have decided to create the problem that only they can fix. Trump is now a wartime president with an invisible enemy. Yeah. So they've got that thing happening for everyone to believe now. So they've made sure that Trump could easily win another election, but they don't even have to have an election with this pandemic plan. They can keep us living in fear, hiding in our houses while they continue to implement the bioweapon. Now, what is the bioweapon all about, and what could it involve? Well, it could involve the slow, steady spraying of a chemical in the air, which is possibly connected to the COVID-19. It could veritably, by simply allowing the sprays to fly over our heads constantly, it could slowly kill off the population. And that's exactly what these people have studied in biodiversity plans dating back to the 1980s. They started studying biodiversity, and they found out that there's a key way of creating what they need. It's not that difficult. They simply need us locked up in our houses, afraid, and then constantly keep the message rolling that they're going to do something more to take away our rights. So they've not only got us right now chained to our homes, but they've got us penalties now. You could be charged with crimes if you leave your home. They've used this as a smokescreen to train our population to become good, subservient slaves. That's what they're doing. So welcome to the brand new media lockdown bioweapons psyops. Welcome, everybody. It's kind of a farcical world, you know, where you're constantly living in fear, and it's almost like a circus environment. Yeah, where they feed you bread and circuses, keep you all very happy. No, Donald Trump was taken over by the Russian oligarchs. We showed you that. We laid it out for you. You Republicans refused to listen to it because you called everything fake news. Now they simply have to make a phone call, and he'll do whatever they tell him to do. And it's the Russian oligarchs that are controlled by the higher ups, the Rothschilds, the 13 families that run the Illuminati or the New World Order. And they make decisions too for Xi Jinping. He's not the only person in charge of China. The banking system is. So they use the banking system to control the nations. Why do we need nations, they say? Why would we even have nations? This scrim of nations seems so unnecessary. So these elitists are now trying to keep us all in one space, and they're going to create their new world global order. America, Russia, China will be a thing of the past. And they will announce that as a great thing. That'll be a uniting of the world, that they'll somehow magically solve all world's problems. And you know, there are Democrats out there right now that would go, really? That's great. That'd be so great if we could just open our borders and let everybody in. This is a type of virus that they're simply exploiting. Thank you, serial killers. How many hours a day do you spend in your PEC chair? I frankly don't spend much time at all in my chair. Yeah, so they can still keep dumping the bioweapon on you. It's no big deal. Yeah, it's like, for them, it's just the cost of making it in petri dishes and putting it into canisters and spraying it on top of the population. It's a minor deal. They've already constructed the Walmarts. They're all set. FEMA and Walmart have been working together for over 20 years now, as well as Costco. Everything's set up for the mandatory vaccination programs, and if you don't take the chip, you're sent to the FEMA camps. They're all set for you, yeah. When are you going to wake up and join me in this third-party effort? I'm just wondering. You want to wait till you get to the front of the line before you say, well, maybe David was right. We should have started a third party, huh? Oh, well. Bye. We found out recently this New York Army nurse, 20-year-old Army nurse at a hospital for 4 years, had 3 deaths this week due to bronchitis and pneumonia, and the next morning she came in and saw death certificates changed to corona. So how accurate are the numbers? Well, they don't even have to be accurate. They don't even need anybody dying right now. They can kill people in the nursing home, just like Hitler did. This all happened in the 30s under Adolf Hitler. He killed the old people and then came the disabled people, and then he gradually started killing dissidents. You don't remember what happened in Hitler's time? Gosh, you guys weren't born then, were you? Well, neither was I. But I heard stories and I read a lot. Okay, refresh everybody. This is exactly what happened under Hitler's time. This is exactly what was going on during that time. I'll keep repeating the message. This pretty picture is really not the pretty picture. It's more of a dystopian future that we're waiting. This is the future, not the pretty bread and circus picture. This is our future. The other one was kind of fake. Okay? I know you're scared. They're scared too, because they don't know what I'm going to do. Hello? Hello, how can I help you? My God. My God, calling me about a traffic ticket I had in 1992? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would you call me about a single traffic ticket I've had in 1992? It's just so funny. That's the only traffic ticket on my record. Why would you call me about that? I made a legal turn, actually, in North Hollywood, or actually in Hollywood itself. And in Los Angeles, it's perfectly legal to make a U-turn at an intersection. And I turned to the policeman who was in his motorcycle, motorcycle cop. I said, you know, this is legal in LA. He said, yeah, I know, but not in Hollywood. It's like, so you make up your own rules in Hollywood? I passed the driver's license exam perfectly with 100%, and I happen to know the handbook upside down, and he just flat out said, no, not in Hollywood. It's legal in LA, but not in Hollywood, man. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah, Beijing and Shanghai are completely clear. Because our country is now racked with a dangerous virus, the elites are laughing at us because they somehow convinced us this virus is spreading and we're all hiding in fear. And they're killing our economy, and Trump is allowing it. And you guys are going, but Trump's a great president. I like him. He's really awesome. Yeah. I don't have a lot of bad Hollywood memories, no. Not at all. Now, this is an example of Donald Trump. This is what you have as a president. This is just a day in the life of an unrepentant adulterer. Who now we haven't even seen Melania. We don't even know where she is. Has anyone seen Melania? Well, hell, this woman might be Melania by now. I don't know. Maybe he's grooming her to take over her place. But he's got his hands on her, and he's looking at another woman. Well, I guess he's looking at Melania. Maybe he's envisioning maybe Melania getting involved with her. I don't know. But look at that look on his face. It's like, oh, I want your hands. I want to be in there between the two of you. Ooh. Look at that. Is that not the sickest look you've ever... This is the guy you got as a president, unrepentant adulterer. Nice job. You Christians must be really proud of yourself. Well, I believe it. Donald Trump is the second coming of Christ. Are you sure you're not talking about a sex act? My goodness. Well, I mean, we got Biden touching women inappropriately. You got Trump touching women inappropriately. One perv versus another perv. One liar versus another liar. I just doesn't get any worse than this, man. And all because you people just don't even understand your political process. It's like, wow. Amazing. There are some scary things to report. I keep this time to talk about the scary things. One of the scary things is Donald Trump refuses to reopen Affordable Health Care Act enrollment. He doesn't want to honor law, and they weren't able to repeal Obamacare. And instead of repealing Obamacare, now he just doesn't want to honor it. He's just going to violate the law. Hello, Brian. Can I help you? What is your question? Nobody's a criminal who gets a U-turn ticket. You guys are retarded or something. Dave, I think the problem is that people are not taking it serious, this virus. You know that why cause people don't know the medical way that actual people die with the virus? David, I think of a link of a doctor, he's a surgeon, explains the whole thing. If people see the video, okay, Flyman, you're new here. You must be from the CIA. Go ahead and send your fear porn to us, and we'll take a look at somebody dying of the coronavirus, which doesn't even exist as we know it. I've seen it, Straggle. Yeah. Event 201 was the precursor to the release of this virus at, according to the Chinese, the sporting event that occurred in Wuhan. Now, George Webb, who's a former CIA operative, maybe still, he said that he may even be Mossad, we don't know. But George Webb said that this whole trail of a couple of army men is real. The Chinese were really onto it. Right around October, when Event 201 was going on, a release of the coronavirus was occurring right among the live participants that were army members that were working in a bioweapons lab. And they were at the head of the race. Now, what happened when, according to George Webb, at that sporting event is there were two people leading the race and they collapsed, husband and wife. And when they collapsed, about 3 laps into the race, and I'm not sure, I didn't see the race, but when they collapsed, people say that that could have been the ground zero of the release of the virus, the 2 army people. Now, that's possible that China may be onto that, and if that's the case, it wasn't necessarily released in a public area, a wet market, selling bat soup. There were no bats, by the way, in that market for sale. So, at least of the variety that originally created the SARS virus. So, more than likely, the virus was escaped from one biomedical facility or another. Whether it was the virology Wuhan or the one at the Pentagon, we don't know. But the timeline of the Chinese soliciting a U.S. professor dates back to April. And this is the original date of the first incidents. This is way past the event 201 occurred in October. And this man, the Harvard professor, is among 3 people that the government's arrested. He's out on bail now for $1 million, but I think he's a flight risk or a danger to him. He could even be, they could take him out because he knows too much. So don't be surprised if something happens to this guy. They let him out. Bill Gates may be in on it because they had a coronavirus patent way before all of this, too. Dating back to, I believe, 2017 and a European patent. No, 2015. I know. I'm glad Russia's got mobile medical units working in their country. Great. Go for it. I want people to have mobile medical units. It's not only my idea. I wasn't the creator of a mobile medical unit. I was the guy to apply it to a big healthcare crisis. I came up with that property. Yeah, I expose corrupt people every night. Yeah. That's what I do.
Okay, people do.
Okay, more of the 5G agenda.
Hey, folks.
Okay, we got a couple things coming up. Let me break into why I think the coronavirus is not only a bioweapon, but why it could also be a cover for the 5G network. So let me move a couple things around. There are no COVID tests still. We're not there yet. Yeah, the government lied about that. There are no, they just have Q-tips. And I wouldn't want a Q-tip stuck in your nose. You can't trust where it's been. I would not trust the government sticking a Q-tip in my nose. I'll tell you that. No, that's too funny. I'm gonna get my closer song up for Can't Stop 30 minutes from now. We pulled the Can't Stop video or audio out of my recovered hard drive, so. China may have started the virus. The coronavirus has roots as early as 1965 when they first detected it in the bat population. Yeah, I want to talk about the 5G network real quick. Baltimore board okayed surveillance planes amid opposition. Wow. Baltimore is the test center for the New World Order takeover of our country. Baltimore was groomed. In fact, Barack Obama gave $2 billion to Baltimore to fund their anti-rioting capability. Baltimore is one of the tinder kegs of this process. No, we don't take calls from you guys. Stop calling here. Thank you. You're the same guys every time. We heard from, this is a shocking piece of information. We heard from Wisconsin cow growers, or milk growers, I should say, milkers. And there is definitely a drain, they're dumping Wisconsin milk. They've dumped it in the middle of nowhere. Seriously, listen to this. This is from West.
We here at the Midwest Farm Report had heard rumors that this was happening, but we can now confirm milk dumping is happening in Wisconsin. My name is Josh Scramlin, and I'm on the phone with Ryan Elby. His family owns Golden E Dairy near West Bend. You guys have 2,400 cows. That's how many you milk. Ryan, your family's dairy has had to dump your milk, correct?
Yep. Yeah, we got the call late last night, and we were asked if we were willing and able to begin dumping milk on our farm here.
So who did you guys actually get the call from? How did you find out?
Well, there were, our field rep would have called us, and then several minutes later, the actual DFA Central Area Manager called us to kind of voice the severity of what's going on and to kind of get us to really actually do it. I don't know if there was issues getting other farms to do this, but we have the storage space and we were willing to do it to help them out.
Thank you so much. Help them out dumping milk down a drain, storage areas. He said they're going to store it. You know what would have been really great? I know this sounds like a lot to ask, but is it too much for the Wisconsin cheese producers to create some cheese vats that we can make and put the milk and make our own cheese? I mean, it can't be that hard to get this milk to curdle and start making cheese. I mean, what the hell? They're dumping tons of milk in Wisconsin. Yes, it's true. So here we have a president that's mismanaging the whole situation. We got food shortages starting in the Mid-East. I was showing you earlier the lineup of cars. that are lining the areas looking for food, hundreds of cars. You got milk being thrown down the drain. Nope, that's not it either. That's not it. That's not it either. No. No. Okay, well, we talked about it last night. I've got it. Oh, there it is. Got it. Wow. Oh, there it is. Okay. It was just moving away. That's weird. Check out the hundreds of cars literally parked waiting to go to a food bank in Duquesne, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh. People are running out of food and they're dumping milk in the drain in Wisconsin. This is what's going on under President Trump's incompetent administration, folks. I mean, I could not describe a more disturbing scenario with a nitwit moron who loves to just talk with no new ideas, stealing them from me all those years. It's unbelievable. It's unfathomable. So 2-3 miles waiting to get food in the middle of the Pennsylvania state. And perfectly good milk drained away. Okay, I think you're getting the picture there. Now let's go to the 5G thing. I'm having a hard time getting it. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's just put 5G safety up. Okay, let's talk about it. Thank you. Okay, so what are they doing with the 5G network? I am going to take a look at a video that I just pulled up and I recorded, and I'm going to show it to you. This is a guy who works in the 5G network, and he says this is a cover for the 5G network. And like I was saying from the beginning, there's a lot of truth to that. Wuhan was the first area they tested the 5G network. If people died from the 5G network, they immediately used this coronavirus as an excuse to say, oh yeah, they died of something. That's the theory. Now, the Diamond Princess was wired for 5G, one of the first to do that. They tested it on the high seas along with the Princess Cruise, which was wired for it, and it came up absolutely dangerous to anybody with radio frequency sensitivity. This is a guy who works in the industry. Listen to what he said.
This is my work ID. I work for Weill Cornell Medicine on 68th in York. I do comparative pathology research. We deal with biohazardous materials and radiation particles. We inject animals like rhesus monkeys, rats, and mice with diseases and radioactive agents. 2 weeks ago, when I went to work, I noticed the security guards were in Tyvek hazmat suits and they were armed, which is not normal. But I didn't pay it any mind. I go upstairs to work, I clock in. My boss is like, yo, listen, you're not needed, but we need you to surrender your Geiger counter. My Geiger counter was attached to my ID because we deal with radiation emissions in my department on the 7th floor, which is the only department that deals with radiation. But they wanted me to surrender my Geiger counter. When I left work, the only people that were left in my building's facility were the scientists, the professors, the researchers, and the security guards that were armed. It's not the virus that's getting people sick. It's 5G network from the radiation.
Wow. Okay, folks, thank you. And thank you for that clip. I'll play more of it later. Okay, you heard it from a top expert. The effects of 5G, which are not tested to this day, we still don't know about safety. This is what they're trying to do. They got us in our houses. They're trying to install 5G in all the schools right now because they fully know that we would protest the safety factor. Yeah, I've got that link in my lineup, but it's gone now. Let me see. I can go to YouTube. Okay, Dave, Connect Enjoy says, Dave, my friend works installing cell towers, and he said he's installing 5G in hospitals right now. Well, there you go. They won't have to put pillows over people's faces when they get to the hospital. They'll just take them out right there, and they'll shuttle their body into the corpse mobile. This is the very fact that they have not tested safety on the 5G network shows you that there's something seriously wrong with this picture. It's the link to that particular video we just got. I'm pulling it up out of my memory. Yeah, it's a good video. Neil Diamond's coming back. We'll play some of his music tonight. Neil Diamond's got a song, Hands Washing Hands. We'll play that later. I finally found a copy of it. Okay, let me pull it up with a 4K, see if it'll pop up. Hands, washing hands. Yeah, you know, I can't get that link. Unfortunately, I can't pull up my preferences when I recorded that link, so I can't find it for you right now. And I believe I got it from Scissorfight originally, so oh, there it is again. Thank you.
Hey folks.
No, that's not it. Yeah, okay, I can't really get you that link right now. Sorry. No, you're welcome. Dave, I retired 32 years working for the local phone company here this past February. 5G only has the 375-foot radius. It's too expensive, man. Well, I know, I understand. They bump them 300 feet apiece. But the fact is they put 450 volt capacitors in there, which is technically illegal. So if they could explain to me why they've got 450 volt capacitors in a thing that can send a signal 300 feet away, that's no different than a microwave oven with the leads going out of the microwave oven. So I think we've got a serious problem on our hands. The conduit that goes into the 5G network too has been noticed to be incredibly thick, and there's no reason for that level of conduit to send cell phone signals. It's utterly absurd to have that level of conduit, so it looks more like a weapon. And the fact that 5G's never passed any battery of tests for safety, it's kind of like Donald Trump when he said, "Oh, I've got this wonderful idea. I think we should use dying patients as to test any vaccine. I mean, what do you got to lose, you know?" Scientists can't even test a person who's got genetic, he's been attacked by a virus. They can't test a vaccine on a person who's already had serious viral damage in their body. But Donald Trump decided he's so smart, well, I think that we should just test patients that are dying anyway. I mean, like he wants to make people human guinea pigs. So of course he doesn't care about 5G safety. Donald Trump endorses 5G safety when we have not seen clearly how safe this is. And recently, we've seen this horrible situation where birds are dying. We showed you a picture yesterday where birds literally were falling out of the sky with the 5G network lit up. So let me take you to that picture from last night. That's seriously messed up. Got to go all the way to the bottom of my category, Enviro. Wow, I've got a big Enviro category. I never realized how many. I must have like 500 movies in here. A lot of them are deleted. Anything protecting the environment seems to get deleted. Wow. Excuse me, folks. I'm just trying to find. Yeah. Here it is. Top story. Check this out.
Right, here we go. Here we go. All the bark's falling off. All on the left-hand side. Look on the left-hand side of that tree. On the right-hand side.
Look at this.
Right? Yeah. Right, well look at the right-hand side of the tree. Look at the flap. Look at the bushes. Look at the green bushes, yeah. Very nice. Look at the left hand side.
It's near the 5G. It's near the 5G.
Because that's right next to it.
Yep.
Have you seen anything like that in your life?
Never.
Got a light right there. The transmitter on the top. These 5G transmitters are lethal. If that's what it's doing to a tree, right next to a tree, think about what these are doing to our health.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a minute.
UK pay cash. Videos at dailymail.com. Wow. So videos at dailymail.com pays cash. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I thought I had I thought I put the picture of the dead birds in there, but I don't have it. Anyway, we saw birds falling from the sky last night from the 5G network. So suffice to say, we don't have tests for safety on these things, okay? Yeah, so we'll go right into a video called Coronavirus Symptoms Go Beyond Fever and Cough. Right, it's the 5G, stupid. We'll play that at the top of the hour. So we'll give you that information, which will follow this line of conversation. Thank you very much. 20 minutes of interesting discussion about the 5G network. So we're kind of leaving you with that concept that maybe they're using the coronavirus to cover up the 5G installation, because that's basically what everything's pointing to that one thing. So Donald Trump is now putting Jared Kushner in charge, saying Pence is failing us. He's throwing Pence under the bus. That's pretty funny. Rhapsody coronavirus vocals. Okay, I'll play that at the bottom of the hour, or the top of the hour. Cool. Thanks for that, chat room celebrity. Okay, you were onto something. Wygorth has had something going on here. He says Trump's properties have been in shutdown for like 2 weeks, and he's already unable to make payments on his Deutsche Bank loans. Right. I'm reading what you're saying, and I'm copying it. Wow, look at this. Smokers are less likely to be hospitalized with COVID. Thank you. You've got a few good links I want to get to. Study shows smokers appear less likely to be hospitalized with COVID. They want you to smoke cigarettes, folks. Yeah, thank you, man. They really want you to buy those cigarettes. They make tax money on those cigarettes. Thank you. I knew you'd get it, Misanthropy. You're great. Here's the video of the birds dying from the 5G pole. We showed it to you yesterday.
But now they're injecting 5G towers in the end. Okay, cool. That's it. Now we're fucking gonna die.
What's that all about? Why is there dead ducks everywhere?
I don't know, it's Chinese.
Yeah, but this they're talking about dead animals everywhere, like something's going on. And they reckon it's to do with the 5G. How are these animals just dying?
Tree there, loads of birds in it. Look. There's literally loads of birds flying around. But on the floor, and they're literally falling out the tree as we're speaking. Literally falling out the tree. They're everywhere. Falling out the tree dead, one after the other. You know what I mean? It's weird, man. Look, that one's still alive. Still trying. Somehow, someone not.
I'm going through fish ponds in Bristol, and listen to that meter. They put a brand new transmitter right in the middle of the street here, and people coming up and down this road are getting absolutely hammered.
Fried.
Listen to that go. It's right at the top of the meter.
Wow.
Look at that. It doesn't get much higher than that. And look what it is. That's what we're going past.
Right there.
It is outrageous.
Yeah. Unbelievable, folks. So these 5G masts are going up everywhere, and the thing is, and the predominant theme here is that they can be weaponized. So we have to think about the possibility that the 5G network is really the prime goal of the coronavirus and the PSYOPs. Now, why would they want to have a system that could be weaponized to be put in place? Yeah, it is cruel, and it could happen to you. Thanks for that link, Misanthropy. Why is it we don't just think the worst for now? Let's just go ahead and jump into that realm and think the worst, okay? They've already said that they want to get rid of 90% of the population. They've made that very clear. Georgia Guidestones, yes, it is a privately funded operation, but it happened, it's built in lock, it's actually written in rock and stone that they want to reduce the population to 500 million people. From 7.6 billion people to 500 million people. That means 90% of the population would be gone. They don't want to drop an atomic bomb on us because, number one, that would leave a lingering radiation for 60 to 150 years, if not longer, of the most dangerous half-lives of most of the radiation. Meaning, even in 150 years, radiation level on Earth would be so bad they would never be able to occupy it. 5G is a type of electromagnetic frequency radiation. It's different than radiation from a nuclear bomb. Well, the elite avoid the 5G by going underground. And Switzerland, where the elite live, the people behind this are in Switzerland, and they live in various places around the world, underground bunkers. But the people in Switzerland have done everything they can to go no nuclear. They switched off their nuclear plant. They walked away from nuclear power. The people of Switzerland, or I should say the entire nation of Switzerland, which is controlled from within by a monetary elitist. Switzerland is still connected to that same old world group that was connected to the Nazis. They never changed much. Oh, it's a weird country. A friend of mine, an ex-friend of mine, went to Geneva one time and spent about 3 or 4 weeks in Geneva and met various men who claimed that they were sexually molested by Hitler. Sexually molested by Hitler in the Hitler Youth. And they were still living in Switzerland, and they talked about it. So, I mean, there's all kinds of weird hidden secrets in Switzerland. A lot of money locked up in Switzerland, hidden from taxes. But that's not the only thing. This 5G plan is so omnipresent and ubiquitous that the Swiss government is also halting any intent upon installing 5G. So the people that live around the richest people in the world, the Rothschilds, have made it very clear they don't want nuclear radiation near them and they don't want 5G near them. But they're more than willing to go along with this coronavirus, and apparently Switzerland has over 30,000 people infected with this right now. It's definitely over 14,000 people infected with coronavirus. So these are the common themes that we're looking at. The people that want to protect themselves from 5G and nuclear live in underground bunkers in this country of Switzerland. Okay, so that brings you to the reality that they're putting 5G in our country without even any safety testing done, and Trump not even mentioning it. And I know people who are hardcore Republicans now going, I can't believe Trump wants to put 5G in. I mean, what the hell's wrong with him? And there are people now, Republicans, that are saying this is wrong. So I urge you to vote for us. We support your right to bear arms. We will never push gun control on you people. And I don't want to take away your tax dollars either. I want to definitely tax the people that should be taxed, like Amazon and ExxonMobil and companies that don't pay taxes at all right now. Anyway, getting down to some sober reality, that this 5G thing is super big, and it's kind of hidden behind the scrim of what's happening with the PSYOPs that's going on. media panic, lockdown, and a potential bioweapon. So, I hope I made it a little simpler for you to know that, yeah, they may very well want to literally wire us to various techniques of mind manipulation, as well as possibly even frying people standing in their tracks. If they've got a vaccine that has a RFID chip in smart dust, they could easily light us up like a Christmas tree and fry our organs. The technology is very real. So if they had a guy with a gun, he said, "You can't take my guns." He's got like 4 AR-15s loaded, ready to go, packing on all sides. And they just hit a button, go, "Now, beep, you're gone." And they're gone. They fry. They immolate. Self-immolate. Your body cooks from the inside out like a microwave. You die instantly. So they finally figured out a way that they can neutralize the threat that Americans pose with the right to bear arms. They got a better weapon, folks, and they're installing it right now in your elementary schools. That's the theory. You just drank some orange juice. Yum. Yeah, enjoy it. It may be the last gallon of orange juice you own. The way Donald Trump is going, our shelves will be bare in about 3 weeks. Many birds have disappeared in my area, Johnny. We've lost so many. I have a bird feeder in the back of my house, and I'm literally looking at the last of the birds. Our bird population was 85% greater 20 years ago. Audubon Society has found all of North American birds have declined by 85%. I'm down to a small little rainforest in my beautiful backyard, which I feed the birds all the time, but even in the past 3 weeks, the birds are disappearing. I'm slowly getting down to like 1 or 2 birds hitting my bird feeder, and it's lasting longer and longer. This is the canary test in the coal mine, folks. Insects are dying too. They want to essentially fumigate the earth. They want to fumigate the earth. That's the best way to describe it. And they've been getting away with chemtrails over our heads for years. And many of you people, no, those aren't chemtrails, man. That's a contrail. You're one of those whack jobs. Well, you're probably one of those people that believe that the COVID-19 tests exist. You're probably one of those people that thinks that 5G is safe. Why else would they put it in? You're probably one of those people that would guess, no, they would never lock us down. But here you are, locked down like a little scared rabbit. So you might as well start believing me, because I'm your safety net. I'm your life raft. I'm the guy who's been doing this for 12 years, so I'm not trying to screw any of you over, yet you may think I am. Why? I don't know. You just innately distrust anybody with a new idea, I guess. But I am what I say I am. I'm not kidding around. I am David. Daring, authentic, visionary, integrity, dynamic. Sarah came up with that. And I'm definitely, I've got a clear vision as to what's going on in the world right now. And I don't think that Donald Trump does. And I know that stopping our economy right now is the biggest mistake could possibly be. If he stops this economy any longer than another week and a half, we're going to have a hard time jump-starting it from death. You don't stop an economy the size of ours. Only our enemies, China and Russia, would do that. Oh, but isn't that weird? Russia's had hardly any deaths. Gee, China has had only 70 people die in 2 weeks. Huh. It sure means that China and Russia could very well be behind this attack on our economy and our country, and that Donald Trump has already co-opted, and we already know he's been working for Russian oligarchs. So this is just them putting the screws down and saying, no, we control Donald Trump. We will take your economy and shut it down. We can do anything. We control your president. He is a pussy. He takes care. He does our bidding. Trump Nash. Trump is owned. That's what in Russian media Trump Nash means. Trump is ours. Always remember that, stupid Americans. They think we're stupid Americans, so you go ahead and be stupid Americans if you want. But wake up to the fact that this third party will kick their ass. And we will go out and root every single Kremlin-sucking piece of crap that's lingering in our government. We will get them out of our government by the time I'm done clean sweeping the administration of Donald Trump. Right now, he's installing 187 federal judges in the positions that could veritably rig our elections in the future, or even prevent the election. And many of those people are sympathetic to Russia. He's also getting ready through Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, who take money from Russia to get reelected, from Len Blavatnik. He's got these two guys working on a plan to give early retirement to more federal judges. So by the time this year is over, every federal judge in America will be sympathetic to Russia. So if you don't see what's on the handwriting on the wall now, after all the things that I've done to explain this to you, then I feel sorry for you, because I really have done my best humanly possible to explain the dangers of what's coming. And I'm doing my very hardest and best to fight through a thicket of censorship and attacks every night. And if you don't think it's intense, you should have come into our show when we were hit like with 4chan attacks during our cooking show. Sarah and I made really good banana bread, 3 loaves, and I made a $1 meal you could feed 2 people with. So I'll be uploading that to my YouTube channel later tonight. Yeah, so we're trying to, keep the focus on getting this third party built for 2020 and the election, but if William Barr gets his way, you won't have an election. They won't ever, just like Hitler and Goering took over during a time and prevented elections in Germany, you won't have an election. We already know that Donald Trump was selected to do this, and he's just doing it because he's ordered to do it. We all know that Trump is the deep state go-boy, and the QAnoners never figured it out. They were so misled by the CIA's diversion plan. But we are fairly sure that the only thing that'll stand up against this New World Order, the only things that'll stand up would be these, right here. That will stop these people in their tracks. If you can get me on the ballot, or at least vote for me as a write-in candidate for 2020 and tell everybody in the country to do this, that's the only way we're going to do it. Because I support your First, Second, and Fourth Amendments as the tripod of strength behind this third party, as the foundation. If we don't give all of you the right to freely speak out and try to suppress your freedom of speech with social credit scoring and all kinds of things, that's bad. If we don't stand up for our right to bear arms, they will take them away and they will neutralize us. And if we can't stand up for your right to privacy and defending your body from an injection of a vaccine, then we're not worth a crap. So these are the core things I want to hold right front row center, and of course all the other amendments as well, but these are the 3 that really stand up to me, in my mind, to build this centrist party and unite this country. So I appreciate your time tonight and letting me clarify what my goals are. But there's no other way I could express this other than we're screwed if we don't do something like now. So keep talking about a third party. Tell your friends about it. The word of mouth is really working. Even you people around the world are helping. So we got to break through the wall of censorship and get me into the media. If I can't get in the media, I can't build the momentum I need to create the numbers that I need to beat the two-party system. It's not about money now. It's about word of mouth. It was about money many years ago, but I did not do this for money. I've not made a penny on this. So we got a lot of good videos tonight. We'll be talking about Walter Reed and the disastrous hospital conditions that were there when our mindless leader, yeah, she absolutely has no clue. She's the reason. Miss Birx, Dr. Birx is the reason we're in the situation we're in. Dr. Fauci, like I said this is no more than a severe influenza. He wrote that in the New England Journal of Medicine 5 days ago. This woman is the idiot that was running the Walter Reed operation when it was a disaster zone. When she left it in the unbelievable atrocities were going on there. And we'll see that tonight, the 12-minute video from back in 2007. But when she was there at the Walter Reed Hospital, it literally declined. This is the woman he puts in charge of our country, and he's ruining our economy because of it. Okay, Thank you for coming in, everyone. Take care. We'll be talking to you again. And I'll be in the show till 1 in the morning. Have a good one. We'll be back at 11:30 tomorrow for another shut-in show. Climb. Take care. Good night.
So many times before, you won't throw me off the mountain, though I climbed it so many times before. Throw us off the mountain, though I climbed it so many times before. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, yeah, yeah, yeah. You keep me wanna go there over and over, but I know how it goes. Keep me wanna go there.